Right. So, what happened last time?
Boom.
We won.
Against what?
I lost. Rip my life.
We made it out of the warp. We told Mechanicus where the Titan ship was. And now we're headed to... Can't remember where. Planet where the competition's being held.
Port Wonder.
Port Wonder, that's it. That's basically it. And we left off when we're just rolling shit, if I recall correctly. And Hendrickson's now going to die.
No.
I mean, you are, like, a heretic now, so, you know. It's kind of to be expected, really.
Okay.
Fair enough. Okay, so... we left off with you, like, essentially coming out of warp, right? And getting in system rather than necessarily docked up, right?
That's it, yeah. We're just getting in system.
Fantastic. I've had an idea, and I want you to roll a d100 to see whether I roll with it or not. Who wants to roll a d100 for a very, very, very important decision? This is like a high-low 50-50 sort of thing.
I got this.
Oh dear.
Would you like the low to be the good or the high to be the bad? Okay.
No,
We'll have low good, please.
it's medium good, thanks.
I mean, I'm okay. So, I'm gonna.
That's usually how the D100s go.
I was gonna say. So before it's rolled, low good, bad high.
Yeah,
Yeah, like standard.
let's do it how it's standard, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. That's okay. Keep that as good then. Okay, so when you're rolling up or hovering up, fuck. I just get a bleep and think that. Oh, it's just that roll taking forever to beep at me. Fair enough. So you're getting docked up. You see a couple of familiar ships. Like you see Granddaddy Theodore's and Uncle Al's all docked up at like at adjacent berths, and it's very reminiscent of your first visit here. You have a particular inquisitorial battleship doing the rounds in a very lazy wide orbit around Port Wonder, and you do indeed see on the far side a particular couple of ships decorated out with the Whimsit colours.
Boo, hiss.
I can't see shit from my airlock.
I was going to say, what's the deal with Hendrickson?
So, do you want me to open it up for you and get you a better view?
I choose life. For however long it lasts.
Are there any black ships?
I was going to say, any inquisitorial ship is technically a black ship. Most of them are with the Order Hereticus, though. Give me I don't know, give me like an Auspex test, I suppose, on the ship to see if you can scan anything else it's giving. It seems particularly interesting.
I nod towards my head Auspex guy. Well, that side of the room at least. I assume I might know who he is.
Indeed. Double check.
Can't remember what entails the
Scrutiny plus the detection of the ship.
Not me.
So scrutiny plus 20 or 25 in this case, isn't it?
I have bad scrutiny.
What do you know?
Oh, can
Am I the only one that had decent scrutiny?
I've got semi-decent scrutiny.
I've got 48 in it.
Fucking-
But Beats my 17.
Yeah, so whatever it's scrutiny plus 20 basically.
I could roll my 52.
Good.
Make it so. Yes.
That's a good roll.
Fantastic. Yeah, so you get a few pickups. One of them is a familiar. I'm gonna say, for simplicity's sake, like IFF, and is showing up in your records as the ship Scythia went away on.
Nice.
Interesting.
Gonna be very mean.
So what's the plan?
Garviel will start sending the proper recognition signals out and everything.
Good.
It'll also make sure signals are sent to the Constantine ships.
Theodore's sitting back and pretending this is all his idea.
Waiting for this to blow over.
Curious, would you have Hendrickson unconscious this whole time?
But
Fully sedated the whole time?
I think that's down to the fucking spider psycho who's got all the meds.
With that response, that's a yes.
Oh yeah, silver tongue devil.
You did walk yourself into that one, man. Bad luck.
I know. I
With your-
knew what I was
With your
doing.
2 inferior legs.
I knew what I was doing. It's better for me to be unconscious when I get fucking blammed.
I mean, Mouse could help with that if you really want.
Did
Can
we
Mouse-
decide? Sorry.
Go on, keep on.
Did we decide in character what we were doing with him?
I don't believe so.
We didn't, did we? It was kind of all out of character.
We did a poll.
Yeah, so results of the poll were
Black ship, I believe.
memes.
Yeah, black ship.
Orcs, memes, gifs.
There was one for keep him on the ship, and the rest of us for black ship.
Memes,
We
stats,
only discuss the
ranks.
important things in Discord.
Ray
2
William
for
Johnson.
keeping him. 2
uh,
for
There we go.
enemy secret. 4 for black ship, and 1 for headshot.
In that case, if we recognise Scythia's ship was here, would does everyone think it's a better idea to contact Scythia first? In point of view of dealing with Hendrickson?
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
or you could not tell her.
No, I mean by telling her, she would have the contacts in place of getting him dealt with properly, wouldn't it?
Can't we just phone up 1-800 Inquisition? Get them to take care of it.
That as well.
Shockingly, it's not a very popular line, so I think it would get through very quickly.
I mean, we need to get him to sign over the Thunderhawk first. Or whatever it is. It's
Oh
called.
god. My character is gonna die because someone else is gonna pilot it.
It's in someone's semi-sensible hands.
Good job. Someone semi-sensible is my middle name. One of many.
It
Just
is.
take the cutter.
Yeah, so so what are we going to do? We're going to contact the Inquisition to get Connor dealt with? Were we going to get contact Scythia so it's handled a bit more by someone we know? It's a decision we've all got to make, really.
I mean, my grandfather does have a good friend who is an Inquisitor. He might be more inclined to, attempt to return him to us, considering our recent escapades.
Let's go for that then. And not mention it till you meet with your grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
Is there no way to forge any sort of these documents? Just out of curiosity, of course. Anything that would say that they are a sanctioned psyker when they're not?
The ability to not kill everybody around them spontaneously. Yeah.
It's something I think that would be incredibly hard to do.
Yeah, I appreciate the sentiment, but I don't think I can blag that.
In other words, he has no on-off switch yet.
That's true, I guess.
He does, it's just hidden.
It's the form of a bolt round at the moment.
There's a very good off switch.
It's one use.
More of an emergency brake, if anything.
Okay, shall we say then that Constantine will deal with it when he meets with his grandfather?
Yeah, so we just keep him heavily sedated, and then I'll lead with the. So I'll lead with the early exploits, So we'll go bathtub method. So early exploits. By the way, my pilot's kind of turned into an unsanctioned psyker. We've also recovered. We also recovered a Titan.
Mention the Titan first. Might go over better.
Oh, and slip somewhere into that. My girlfriend is now 3 years old.
4.
4.
Big difference.
Okay, we got a plan.
Phil, just to completely get this completely straight. My first truth now isn't a truth.
Correct.
Cool. Because that could have been really awkward.
Yeah, that would have been really awkward. So we'll not bother with that. It quite frankly, it's already dive straight down a rabbit hole that I can't really be asked with anymore. So
Cool. Does everybody else want to know that?
Whatever. Up to
Yeah.
you.
Sure. Yeah. So she was pregnant. However, she's now 4. So thankfully, she's no longer pregnant. The warp sorted that shit.
Let's not think about the biological standpoints of that argument, and just agree.
That's pretty much what I'm hoping for, to be honest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorted then? We have a plan?
Excellent.
That is the most surefire form of contraceptive ever.
Wouldn't she be pretty unhappy if she was wanting it? Never mind, anyway.
No. I think we just leave that one alone, Felix.
Yeah.
Just.
That's why I stopped.
Yeah. Just.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it.
Yeah.
I also have one slight thing to do, and that would be go down into the underdecks with a coin and the badge on.
Ooh. Okay.
The badge?
Indeed.
Uh-huh.
Badger.
Mushroom.
Mashed potato?
And what are your plans for that? Are you going to tell me, or?
I don't know. I'd probably listen to what they had to say to me first, I guess. Maybe ask them to spread a little between stations or
Okay.
something similar. See if I could get a network of them. In memory of Lucia, of course.
Of course. Yeah. I was going to say, to that end, you find that they're actually fairly organized, and are already spread around the ship fairly nicely.
I mean, spread on to other ships and stations.
Oh. Okay.
So we could
Nice.
have a network,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
to see how far spread about the ship would also be helpful.
Expansion.
And also, possibly to know any shortcuts throughout the ship. See if they would make me a map or something similar. Or just show me.
Cool. Just for the sake of that bit, can you get me like a charm test?
Charm? Yes. Flat, yeah?
Yeah. Flight reroll that.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Or no, actually, hang on. Let's see. What things do you think you would have that would help with that? Like, because like when I say flat, that's kind of like the roll I'm giving to you as a base roll. Not necessarily. It's borrowed D&D term. It's kind of like the DC of it. So, you know, if you get any bonuses to add or help with that, feel free to shout. That sort of thing.
Like, I would try and get friendly with them first. If I didn't think that they would be willing to, on my first meeting, I probably wouldn't want to try, I guess.
Okay.
Like, I would prefer to get the knowledge of our own ship first, so all the little nooks and crannies and things like that you could hide in I would say would be easy to get them to spread to other places. But if they were I would try and convince them over time, I guess.
Sure.
It's not an immediate thing. I don't think I've got anything that would make that easier, to be honest.
Okay. Let's see.
Unless I've got something to offer them.
Well, you were given the coin in the first place,
Yes, I was.
so that would give you some sway with them, because obviously Lucia would have told them that if anything happened to her, they were to use you for give you any reports that were necessary and stuff.
Oh, right, okay, so I'm sort of seen as a temporary leader-ish?
A
Would you
point
call
of
it that?
contact.
Yeah, that's
Point
more
of that.
Yeah.
There.
Okay. So I'll give you a plus 20 to. Hmm. Yeah, we'll go for a charm test, I think.
Okay.
Plus 20. There we
Would that
go.
be a reroll?
No, that's 5 degrees of success.
No, I mean, would
Oh.
that count as a reroll?
Nah, we won't. Early
Okay.
enough in the session, I think we'll let you away with that.
Okay.
Richie might need a little.
Obviously, I try and tell them to start small. and if they have any news for me, I guess.
So they give you like a general overview, and so they'll spread out the family fleet first, and then there basically.
Of course.
But they'll keep you updated in any major discoveries or events or that sort of thing.
Okay. It's kind of all I wanted.
Cool. Oh, and they give you a sort of data slate with a few nooks, crannies, and shortcuts around the ship. So if you want to do anything sneaky in the ship, might give you a bonus with your extra map, shall we say?
Nice. On my way back up, could I try and use some of these shortcuts to get back to where I was?
Sure. Give me a. Oh, you don't have navigation, do you?
Don't, unfortunately, no.
Fine. Give me for the sake of this, then give me an intelligence test at a +30. There you go. Yeah, so you get back fairly cleanly. Sort of nearly get lost a couple of times, and it's definitely a bit slower than you'd like. But you know, using some of these on a slightly more regular basis, you'd probably get there eventually. You know, along the way, you see a few sort of some random discarded junk of people that have obviously found these nooks and crannies in the past, and use them for little like hideouts. There's a few empty like alcohol crates and all that sort of stuff. But
yeah, secret stash.
Yeah, a few little secret stashes here and there, and just
not my
general
secret
rubbish.
stash.
Okay.
I don't think you'd need a secret stash, because if anyone touched your stash, you could just airlock them.
Well, yeah, you'd know.
Okay, so now that's sorted. Anyone else have anything before we dock up and proceed?
Nope.
Okay. So when you get yourselves docked up, there's like immediate calls for, well, from the family fleet. There's immediate messages of greeting and request for a drink and family meeting, sitting waiting on the comms.
I'm over my fear, right?
Oh yeah.
Good. Cool. I guess I don my finery and head on to the family meeting.
Fair enough. What are you doing? Just more as a general point of reference, not as a sort of big deal. What have you generally been? What's been the general procedure as far as sort of Callie's been concerned? Like, it's just been like, I don't know. It's just like leaving her in a room, or what's been the deal there?
I mean, I assume my ship's outfitted with some sort of crash.
Yeah, sure.
Just give us the Ogryns to look after. He'll be fine.
Yeah. Welcome to Mousy Daycare.
Featuring mice.
Garviel would have found like a crew person, a female who was used to looking after kids or something, probably.
Sure, that works.
I'm guessing she's like full child. She's not like an adult in a child's body or anything.
Oh, it is pretty much adult in child's body sort of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh
It's-
dear.
Well, in that case, I'm sure we would be treating her with a bit more respect than, having Mouse dandler on his knee. Like,
Yeah, I would hope so. Yeah.
I mean, that whole business got us into this mess, but different type.
Indeed.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Just more like I said, just as a point of reference. That's fine. I was gonna say it is adult in child's body, but obviously still being in child's body is still prone to childish fits of petulance and whatnot. Despite the brain and memories of her older self.
I'd have probably imposed a 2-can rule at the old ranks bar.
Sudden change in the hormonal balance has kind of, regressed her a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. That's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah. Like I said, purely just so I know what these are sort of thinking there.
Yeah, I wouldn't just discard her as soon as.
No, that's okay. Yeah. Okay. So, what was I saying? Brain work. Wasn't there? Anyway, sorry, I'm completely brain farting in a minute. Yes. So, the family meeting. You discovered sort of Uncle Al is there. Your grandfather's there. The rest of the family fleet has been out of contact for the last month or so. Obviously nobody. It's they were the only ones that were freed up enough to make it, and as the two that have been obviously that bit more sort of along for the ride as far as your adventures are concerned. Yeah.
Nice. Would it just be myself, or would it be bringing an entourage?
You can bring whoever you like. It's a family meeting, and you've been gone for, well over a year, so.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would invite everybody, and I would tell them to, dress in. Well, just bring as much fanciness as they can. I'm envisaging bursting into the room 20 years older, Nisian axes and gyro hammers and all sorts just surrounding me.
Mouse will just have his regular armor, but literally just with gold braid draped all over it.
Literally just draped, not
Or
correctly
maybe
draped.
stuck on with tape or something.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was thinking. Yeah.
Would you do it, or would you have the armorers do it?
I think you would have underlings to do that sort of thing for him.
Oh, so we're not even having the best Ogryn put it on. Brilliant.
Garviel will get out the not often used full dress uniform.
Oh, the full dress uniform, fancy.
Oh yes.
Is it going to somehow have even more gold braid than I have?
Just a bit.
Fair enough. So, we'll all be meeting on Grand Lord Constantine's battleship and getting seen up to the exquisite, super private, guest meeting room study type thing that's reserved entirely for the familial visits or a particularly good friend. That's one with all the very fancy chairs and drinks and whatnot. With the trophies under ever so slightly less guard, that sort of thing. To which you arrive upstairs and it is pretty much as you expect. It is Uncle Al, Grandfather Constantine, and Scythia, funny enough. He's wearing a slightly different attire than before. There's the well, it's a little bit more inquisitorial, might be the way to put it.
Nice. So I'm guessing we stroll on in, head held high, and make my greetings. It's been a while.
Uncle Al immediately starts laughing and bursts out and says, "Yes, it appears it's been a longer time for you than the rest of us." And if you if you're looking in any mirror, you see that you look pretty much exactly the same age as him. Like could easily be confused as brothers, and it being indeterminate which one was the older.
Some of us carry it better, though.
He scoffs and just takes another drink again. So the Grand Theodore and Scythia basically sort of like roll their eyes at the comments and sort of come up and sort of shake your hand and do all that sort of stuff and welcome you back and sit you down with a nice drink and sort of begin to ask what happened and all that sort of stuff.
Oh well, you know we got the we upgraded the ship. We found some logs in a abandoned imperial vessel in the salvage yard, and we located a lost Titan carrier in a warp storm. As you do.
It's like, so that explains and he gestures to the slightly receded hairline and sort of grey ends on your head.
Yes, some of us fared better than others.
You seem to be missing a member of your crew. Where's your pilot? You remember you having one of those?
Yes, that was going to be my second point of business. He is one of the ones that didn't fare so well. It appears that he had some manner of latent psychic ability, and that we're having currently sedated in an airlock, pending getting him aboard a flagship for making him safe, if at all possible.
The city lets out a very long sigh, pinches your nose, and downs the last half of her glass. It's like, well, I've heard of other methods of suppressing psychers, but that's definitely one way to do it.
If you know of a better way, then I'm all ears. I'm quite keen to get him back as soon as possible.
Killing them's always an option.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he did play a pivotal role in the recovery of a near-functional Titan, so I'm somewhat reluctant to just void his brains from his skull. And you never know, it might make him useful again. Or not, and then you can do as you will.
So what are you planning to have done with him then?
Well, I believe believe with any young newly awakened psychers, it's usually best to send them off for re-education and to get them to learn to harness their powers as opposed to what effects did he have on the crowd? I can't remember.
Oh, there was
He was
slashing,
levitating.
levitating, slashing, blood, raining blood.
Yeah.
Seismic
So
boom.
so harnessing his powers rather than making it rain blood on board by ship.
You realize the Imperium is reluctant to give up psychers after went to the effort of training them.
Yes, but the Imperium are also quite keen to recover Titans. So I figured, we might have a little bit of leeway considering our exploits.
There's another side. She said she'll see what she can do.
Well, thank you very much. Raise my glass and give a small toast in her direction. Now, what have I missed?
This is the point where Grandfather Theodore takes a large sip of his and says, Family Fleet's gone.
Beg your pardon?
It's gone. Have you heard about
Gone where?
the Xenos attacks?
No, I've been indisposed. Oh.
Well, they began about 6 months ago, and all but ourselves in this room have died. Their ships lost as well.
I was hoping to be promoted on merit.
Garviel will raise a hand at this point.
A glance and a nod.
Forgive me, is this just something that's happened to the family ship, sir? Or is this been happening to Navy ships and other trader ships?
There's been a general loss across the sector, yes. It has been noted it depends if you listen to Al or not, but some might say that certain faction may be out to get us. There seem to be particularly strong concentrations around area of interest to ourselves.
Didn't we go past our starship thing?
Big station?
Station, yes.
You didn't stop at it.
Ah.
May I ask if there are any clues as to who's responsible?
None. There have been a mixture of Xenos attacks. There's appears to be some sort of, shall we say, turf war going on between some orc clans. They've been pushed out of the Thousand Teeth and have been on somewhat of a looting rampage. We're civilized parts of the sector, and riled up Dark Eldar in the process.
Takes a fair bit to kick out some orcs.
Indeed.
Perhaps they found something.
Hmm.
Or are looking for something.
Perhaps. Regardless, it's important that we're here today to recuperate and reassess where family's priorities are going the next while. For a time, we thought that you'd perished in these attacks, so it's good to have you back. And well, I must say the recovery of Titan's definitely a morale boost, and might help the family win some much needed support from the Imperial Navy as far as extra help defending key resources.
And go on.
So I dare say what turned out to be a bet between you and Whimsit might have ended up being the boon we need.
Has Whimsit's family fared just as badly?
Sadly not. I dare say they've profited slightly off of it. Indeed.
If you don't mind, how so?
Well,
I'm sorry to be sorry for my intrusion.
for starters, they've only lost rather, shall we say, low profit territories compared to what other dynasties have lost, including our own. All of their key trades and key resources have remained completely intact and completely unmolested, really. There's suspicions of some foul play.
I was just going to ask, are there many families that have gotten away with it as much as they have, or are they perhaps got away with less losses than virtually anyone?
It depends how suspicious you're going to be, but you could say the losses they have been taking have been, shall we say, sacrificial to sort of shy away from suspicion, but they've still taken losses nonetheless.
Can we Vox back to the ship to maybe strengthen the guard around it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna. Yeah. So I mean, they're going to clarify that the losses have been like in space essentially. So, you know, to be fair, it's sort of Alan, your grandfather, sort of took the opportunity of the sort of bet conclusion as I suppose an excuse, as it were, to get out of the serious shit for a little while, as obviously losing a rather large portion of the family. So I mean, there is, to their knowledge and your knowledge now, you're the 4 remaining Constantines, and as such, City has actually been legitimized as an heir to the dynasty, and has been pulled away from inquisitorial duties.
So it can be done.
It can. Now that she's like a legitimate heir to the dynasty, yes, that's one of the few things that can, like, I mean, you know, for the most part, the high-ranking servants or comrades of inquisitors do it voluntarily, whether that be for their own merit or their own renown or whatever. There's, you know, it is voluntary 9 times out of 10.
I mean, we do have a Whimsit.
You do.
Push came to shove.
But yes, there's still 44 days left before that is concluded. Is there anything you'd like to add to the meeting, or anything you'd like to do report? Because I have a couple of things I would like to do for the next
Garviel will say that he's only a lieutenant commander in the Imperial Navy, so he doesn't have much pull, but he'll speak to who he can about seeing if we can gain some aid.
Yeah. I was going to say, so I mean, in some ways, as far as the Navy's concerned, that frigate is, well, I mean, the Dynasty ships are effectively part of the Imperial Navy, and he's still a naval officer, and is the sort of the captain in lieu of Constantine, essentially. So reason, being a commander of a vessel with road trader on it's the same as it may as well have your own. Anyway, so yes, a decent amount of pull and all that sort of stuff. Once that soonish. Anyone else want to add anything to this meeting or ask any questions?
They said it was only orcs that had been attacking, correct?
Orcs were the main force that were doing the looting and pillaging.
You mentioned Dark Eldar?
Yes, the orcs apparently ruffled their feathers a little bit, and there have been fewer, but they have been riled up, shall we say.
Perhaps it might be an idea to check in with the space station as being as it was, had been looted by orcs.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan. Has anybody else in the family heard from the station?
Oh, yeah, so they'll give you like a journal update and stuff like that. What did you decide to do with the station again? I can't remember. It's been ages.
The shipyard.
Shipyard, yes, that was it. You know what? We'll pull that in as part of a thing. Yeah, so it's been stripped back. All the basic systems have been repaired. The existing infrastructure and buildings on it have been like refitted into like crew quarters and meeting areas and all that sort of stuff. Like it's refitted into more business, the sort of admin side of the shipyard, as it were. The like main construction of the shipyard itself is due to begin like soonish. Like the basic bits and pieces have been put into place, but obviously with all the attacks, the Dynasty profit factor is taking a bit of a hit. And to that end,
That's what I was worried about.
yes. Let's see. So the profit factor is now 42. So he's definitely not out of the game, but he's been losing like half a dozen sort of ships of like, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So to clarify, that's like 5 ships of aunts, uncles, and I was going to say Theodore Constantine III is now essentially the sole heir at this point of the sort of primary Constantine line. He says, "Nice." Having lost his in-game father, we've never met in game.
His loss is my gain.
Indeed.
I feel that's almost in character.
To a point, yes. So yes. Any more questions for the meeting or whatnot? That sounds like a no to me.
No.
Okay. So as soon as you go back to the ship, few sort of points of order, as it were. Jericus, your arm was shredded to bits beyond repair.
Yes.
Yes. So we were going to be requesting a brand new arm from one Lucius, I believe.
I might have one to spare.
And it specifically had to be a mastercraft or a best quality replacement. Yes. So for that, I'm going to be taking a check or two, make sure. So this can be a trade armor roll at a -20. Feel free to add whatever bonuses you want on it, or for every week you spend doing it, I'll give you a +10.
Okay. This seems to be important, so I think... Well, how long are we planning to spend here?
I mean,
Common down?
I was going to say, the bet's in 44 days, so...
We can't really do much in terms of journey time with that, can we?
Not really. I mean, I had this plan, so you wouldn't really be doing much else in the meantime.
So in other words, you got about a month.
Pretty much, yeah. You've got a month and 2 weeks. So, what? 5-6 weeks to make a best quality arm.
Yeah, okay. I'll spend 3 weeks making it, giving me +30, and of course I get combi tool use, out of which gives me another +10. So, was it -30, -20?
At -20 to start with.
-20. Okay, so that's 3 weeks to +10. Then the tool is +20 total.
The laboratorium itself gives another 10, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it does. It gives +10 to crafting, so it'll be +30 total.
Sounds good to me. Fantastic. That's definitely a best quality arm. For simplicity's sake.
The finest quality arms.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I'm gonna say all the medical, like getting the arm off in the first place and all that sort of stuff. So it's pretty much like plug and play by the time the arm's finished. I'm not gonna do too much about like time. Case. Let's see. So Phoenix, you know where all the bits and pieces for it are? The book, all the stats. Page 147.
That's the one.
And 148.
Yep.
You get an extra 2 toughness bonus for that location.
For that location.
Yes.
So that would add on to AP, right?
No, it's toughness specifically, so it's better than armor because it can't be ignored.
Okay. Well, would I just put that in the box below the AP on the thing?
I mean, you just put a 2, like a 2 in brackets beside it or something like that.
Ah, right, okay.
Which arm was it again?
Left.
Left arm. You also get a +10 bonus for a good quality one. Where's the thing for best quality?
I'm not too sure.
We'll put the plus 10 in anyway. So it's plus 10 on agility bonus, requiring delicate manipulation, as well as a plus 10 to strength bonuses using that arm, or strength tests using that arm.
Agility, strength, and what was the third one?
It's agility and strength specifically when using that arm.
Okay.
So don't like touch your stats on it, just sort of put that down somewhere so you know it.
Will do.
So yes, so as the weeks go by, so we'll say we can sort of skip about 3 weeks here for getting that done. So what's going to be happening in those 3 weeks, everybody? What's the general ideas?
Let's
Mouse would
let
just
out the
spend it
airlock, please.
And sorry, go on.
No, go on.
Garviel will go and see the Navy office and make sure that Hendrickson's capsule is prepared for when Scythia comes.
Fair enough.
And also, obviously, deal with the resupply of the ship.
I'm hungry.
And if he gets any other spare time, he will spend it trying to get familiar with the Thunderhawk's controls.
Fair enough. How's Hendrickson been handling the captivity?
Bad.
Been asleep the entire time, surely.
No,
No.
I was going to say, you find him like woken up every now and again.
I send Mouse to cast sleep.
I have substantial bruises on the underneath of both my hands from slamming the fucking airlock door. And
Slamming it shut.
slamming my fist against it, trying to get people's attention.
Not trying to get out. Which side of the airlock door?
Considering I'm a fairly decent pilot, have some benefit, like, I don't know, take an educated guess. In your disease-addled, warpy, old brain.
He can say those exact words to you.
Whether he can hear it through the fucking bulkhead.
Yeah, you've got psychic powers. Perhaps he just hears them anyway.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
I've been talking in his brain by accident without realizing.
Maybe we'll have another word with the machine spirit.
You know what? I occasionally do hear you do feel a very small mental bump along the lines of "let me out" in a very like incoherent. It's more a feeling that
Migraine.
it's more a feeling that like, do you want out or does somebody want let out? There's a feeling of wanting to get out put into your head.
Yeah. I mean, that's quite vague. Which out does he want? There's out, and then there's out.
I mean, you would assume it is out of captivity, not out into the void.
Have to, explain these things meticulously to our captain because he is a pleb who tries to screw demons and underage women.
Is that an insult?
Don't know.
Would Constantine hear that insult?
You don't know.
Because if it is, then I need a willpower check.
You can't hear through the bulkhead.
No,
And
you
you're
Okay,
just getting feelings.
That's okay then. I mean, I think I would be able to hazard a guess as to where the voices in my head are coming from.
Navigator.
He's been nothing but good to me. How dare you?
he controls the ship, he might still think you're an asshat.
He wouldn't say it out loud or in my head.
Let me out, please.
Would we be allowed to let you out?
I want to explode again.
I don't think letting you out is a good idea. I think more than enough warpy things have happened aboard Theodore's ship to make him absolutely convinced that staying in the airlock is the best course of action.
And the spider let me out.
What I don't know can't hurt me. Apart from you can.
I've a fun idea.
Oh, no.
I mean, Connor, hypothetically, you could use the mind's shadow that you have, and you could appear completely invisible, as if you disappeared out of your cell.
Because that will go well.
The classic. He's out of the cell. Let's open the cell. Sneak past.
Spooky. I could.
You could. I'd like to give that a go at some point in 3 weeks.
Would I know how to do that?
Yeah, like I said, the whole point about renegade psychomagic is it's like instinctive. So, yes, you know how to do that.
I just want to get out of here, so I just literally fucking disappear.
Exactly. Yeah.
There we go. Why not?
Cool. So
I'll give it a go.
it's a focus power test. So,
9.
roll willpower.
What?
Do we have anyone on guard outside this airlock? Just out of interest.
I'm gonna retry that. Why not?
You're rolling that? Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Nice. And now roll a power roll for it.
It's fettered. I don't know, would it be unfettered at this point?
If you're feeling desperate, yeah, probably.
Get any bonus high ratings? The Science effect? I don't know.
No.
Isn't no, just flat boom.
Just
Flat.
flat boom.
Flat. Wait, psi rating.
Hopefully no boom.
modifier. What psi rating do I have?
1.
1. No, that's bonus. Never mind. 0. I think that's how it works. Yeah.
Ooh.
Sweet.
Spooky teenager has disappeared.
Yep, spoopy teenager disappears.
Oh. One less problem. Guess we're saving money on food. I might go shopping.
Fair enough. We
What?
tried.
What's everybody else think? Should we just let him out?
No.
Jesus Christ. I need some more gain on that, please.
Sorry, my
do you
eardrums are
mind
still
just
intact.
clarifying?
That is the best sounding and most impactful no I have ever heard.
Fair enough. Okay.
I'd like some more gain next time, please.
Fair enough. So over the course of 3 weeks, you see Hendrickson like occasionally disappear and then reappear inside a cell, inexplicably.
Yeah.
Well, about a week before the bet's due to conclude, Theodore, you get a meeting requested by Inquisitor Braxton.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Inquisitor Brandt. My apologies. It's the one your grandfather's friends with.
Ah.
It's a definitely a business meeting, not a friendly meeting.
Business.
Business.
I don my business simplest armor.
Fantastic.
And, tell Mouse to tone it down with the tassels and...
He won't have had the tassels on the entire time. That was just for the fancy meeting.
Aha.
Fair enough.
So he may have kept some of the gold braid just because he's been training his Ogryn squad.
Yeah, and I was going to say, Mouse is explicitly requested to be in attendance.
Yeah. Anybody else?
You asking anybody else who would like to come with?
Yes.
Jericus would.
This is on your ship, by the way.
Oh, on our ship.
Oh.
Damn.
With this having been a couple of weeks spent doing a thing, can I parlay that into some extra command bonus or something? I don't know.
Suppose?
Or a cheaper, thing for the next rank of command.
Yeah, I mean, we'll say that's an ongoing thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it's on the ship, Garviel will attend as well.
Cool. So you say everybody except the pleb in the airlock is attending?
Nah,
Fair
I want to
enough.
stay away from the Inquisition.
Fair enough. Okay then.
Actually, 1 second. I'll go. Yeah, I'll go. Just won't say anything.
Okie doke. Fair enough. So, Inquisitor Brandt shows up with a first lieutenant in tow, wearing like inquisitorial guard armor, basically. So it's like this black like imperial guard armor with his it's fairly standard looking lieutenant, not a lot of battle scars, and standing particularly straight up, and is trying very hard at looking like an officer.
Cool.
I was gonna say, so he's all go sit down and all that sort of stuff.
Is there anything off about this officer that's just like being OTC with everything?
No,
Or is he just shiny and new?
I was gonna say he's definitely a bit green. Yeah.
Would that be out of the ordinary for a high-ranking Inquisitor?
Not really.
No, that's okay.
Just fairly green lieutenant, really.
Cool. Just awful lot of detail about a minor character.
Yeah, I know, right? So,
I'm sure that won't factor into anything, especially now.
indeed. So, Inquisitor Brandt gets basically straight down to business. And, Lord Constantine, I've been informed that you have a rather successful Ogryn contingent in your ship.
An incredibly successful Ogryn contingent,
Indeed.
as you can see from his rating.
Quite. I have a proposition for you. I wish to use the contingent of Ogryns in your ship as special training for Ogryns coming into the ranks of the Inquisitorial Grippers.
Mm-hmm.
I take it the Ogryn in front of me is the secret to this success.
House, can I roll for a salute?
Oh yes, please do.
Like, gosh, what am I rolling here?
Strength.
I mean, technically, this is this is going to be like a formal situation.
Very much so, yes.
Paranoid, -10 to interaction skill test in formal environs. He's going to do a sweaty palm salute. What do you want me to roll? I'm just looking through my list.
I don't know, weapon skill, I suppose. Let's go with that.
Okay.
Classic. The salute is the resonance of a finely tuned church bell. The Inquisitor
Even more
looks
impressive with all the braid.
yes. The Inquisitor looks satisfied with the salute. And
I leave that to speak for itself.
fair enough. Lord Captain, I assume you'd be happy with running this experiment on your ship?
So just to clarify, he wants to just have the Ogryn train other Ogryns, or
Yeah, pretty much.
is it?
He literally wants to give your ship more Ogryns for Mouse to train up. And then take back off you at random intervals.
Okay. I would ask Mouse if he is comfortable leading this. Leading this endeavour. Does he feel up to the task?
Oh, it would be a great honour, sir.
Fantastic. First Lieutenant Andros here will be overseeing this. He'll be handling all the paperwork and doing all the officery things of this. You won't get in the way, will you, boy? Like, no, sir, no, won't get in the way, sir, no. And there's like more saluting from Andros, and it's not very good. Mouse, you will note that you may need to teach your new officer a thing or two about saluting along the way.
Yeah, he just kind of shakes his hand a little bit, shakes his head a little bit, and tisks.
Yes. Quizzer gives him a little sort of side glances, like, yes, you're very keen. That sort of look. Says, fantastic. We'll do the the sanctioning ceremony in a couple of days aboard down your hangar, I believe would be appropriate. Make all the preparations for it, will you? Yes.
Of course.
Fantastic. I'll leave young Andros here with you, and he can check out the men and whatnot. He will report to me, but obviously he's in your ship, so do as you will. And Wizard stands up and waits for somebody to escort him back down to his ship.
And did we decide to approach him about the airlocked member of the crew, or are we going a different way?
I think Scythia said she was going to handle it, didn't she?
She did.
Yep. Yeah, cool. I do not mention the airlocked member of the crew.
I'll show the Inquisitor escorting to his ship or docking port, whatever.
Cool. On that note, has anyone actually been down talking to our airlocked psychic path? Psyker?
Mouse might have stopped by a couple of times.
Anyone else?
Would Mouse?
I think Sorry, go on, mate. Sorry, I'm
Will
sorry.
Mouse understand why I've just disappeared?
Probably not.
I mean, I was fighting in the arena when all the stuff went down, so
I didn't disappear then.
Well, that's true. The disappearing I wouldn't understand, but
Stonks.
I think I would understand its weird psycho shit.
He's just special in the same way Mouse is special, but in a different way.
I guess I would once or twice.
Fair enough. Okay.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I might have tried to pop along a couple of times to try and catch him at a lucid moment.
Coincidentally, I was going to say he's been fully lucid pretty much all the time.
And he's sorry.
But this is what I was checking for. So because some of you are visiting now and again, I'm only going to make Connor roll a d10.
D10?
D10. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear.
What does that mean?
10 insanity points.
10 insanity.
You've been locked up in an airlock pretty much all alone for 3 weeks. So yes, you're going a little bit insane.
Oh, mate, that's some spicy fucking points.
Oh shit, yeah it is.
Oh god.
Wow.
Oh god.
36, chunky chunk.
All those colouring books Mouse bought him have made no difference at all, or maybe they even made it worse.
Yeah, that
Probably give me corruption points.
Colouring books, but no crayons or something. I don't know.
That's not an invitation, Phil. Fuck you.
Oh dear.
It's every 20, isn't it?
Yeah, so don't worry. We do need to roll for a temporary trauma.
Ooh,
Sorry.
spicy.
Insanity. Okie doke. Roll me a willpower test at a +10. Yeah, boy. Okay.
What does that do?
You're actually okay. Unless you want to roll for something for a mental trauma anyway, just for the lulz. It will be temporary, of course.
Yeah, it's temporary. It'll be fine. I'm going to the black ships. Less than what is it? D100?
Yeah, D100, -20 for that.
Minus 20.
3. The character becomes withdrawn and quiet. The character's at -10 all fellowship-based tests for 3d10 hours. Yeah, so basically no real difference.
Yeah.
Did I manage to catch him at a lucid moment?
Yeah, I mean, he's been completely lucid the entire time. That's the one bit I don't think any of you have quite grasped.
Let's see how many hours I'm
Okay.
uncooperative. That's not too bad.
But yes, you can catch him at a fully lucid, fully visible moment.
He's just gonna talk with him generally, and because Garviel's proper, he's going to ask him his permission to fly the Thunderhawk, as being as it's his.
I don't really have any choice.
Well, he's asking you. He's not demanding it. He's politely asking.
He is so being polite. That is a good thing.
You know, he's not just
Yeah.
assuming he can. He knows it belongs to you, so he's asking your permission.
Yes, that's good. Okay. I'm being very apathetic with it because I just want to be left alone with
And in return, he'll make sure some of your special magazines are shoved into the airlock.
I'm gonna get a look of disdain at that comment. Yes, you can.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic.
He'll make sure that all the food that's sent up is of extra special quality.
Excellent. So, Mice, over the next 2 days, the staff in the general Ogryn area seems to have stepped up a little tiny bit. You have a couple of gentlemen known as armorers now, who actually take the weapons off the other Ogryns and clean them and do bits and pieces for you, and generally make sure everything's maintained and snot free, and it's generally clean for starters. Likewise, armor maintenance is kept up to date by them. Fairly dead on guys. They don't bother saluting you because you don't work for everybody's working for a living, other than little First Lieutenant Andros, who tries to keep out of the way as much as he can, but can't help himself sometimes and starts trying to tell you to do things that you've already been doing for quite a long time. And
I would just stare at him till he goes away when he does that.
Fair enough. Would you like to roll Intimidate for that? In
Sure.
in like a half-hearted sort of way, So he only tries like 2 or 3 times, and then he just decides it's better to stay out of the way. He does look a little bit defeated, as he would seem to have failed at a part of his role as the his very first job in charge of a platoon, and he can't even talk he can't even interact with the platoon without being intimidated by them. Mwah, mwah.
Is he here for a few days? Yes.
Oh, Andros? No, he's here to stay. He's
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's officially the OC of Mouse's Ogryn regiment. Mostly for admin purposes, but yes. On paper, he's the OC.
Could I seek him down in the ship's bar, possibly?
Yeah, why not?
Or a bar
I imagine he doesn't have many friends at the minute, so that's probably where he has to go to try and drown his sorrows.
I would imagine so. Yes, I'd like to sit next to him at the bar and buy him a few drinks.
Okay.
And then a few more drinks.
Mhm.
And then a few more drinks.
I assume are you matching him in all this, or?
I'm assuming I would have some sort of code word to the barman saying that sounds like a drink, but is actually just water.
Okay.
Couldn't you just get the barman to give him some of Mouse's favourite tipple? That might do quite a
Yes.
good job as well.
Yes, but I assume they are all reserved for Mouse.
It depends
That's
who the
true.
bar
Well,
person is.
I guess they wouldn't exclusively be for Mouse. It's just Mouse is the only one that really drinks it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Phil, I would like to get him sloshed.
Fair enough.
And then... Sorry.
I was going to say, the regulars are going to stay particularly pretty. Barmaid has returned after a while.
Okay. Does she look familiar? Or like...
Not to you, no.
Not to me?
Hasn't met on ship while you've been there.
Okay. Yes, I would like to get him quite very drunk. And then I would possibly try to glean for some information.
Fair enough. What information are you after?
I'm not too sure, actually. Goings on. Any goings on that's odd or something like that?
Nothing in particular. I was gonna say most of what you get out of him is some like rather serious depression over being an epic failure at his first posting, but other than that, you discover you're his new best friend, and you get a few bits and pieces about how the Inquisitor wants him to report back at particular intervals and some bits and pieces like that, but he doesn't seem particularly like in the loop in any grand scheme. At this point, I suppose you know his own day to day fairly well and all that sort of stuff, but like I say, he's not very plugged into the grand scheme of things.
Okay. I would also like to give him some tips on how to possibly get up on the Inquisitor's good books or anyone in ahead of him's good books. So,
Fair enough.
Not looking so eager and taking things, reading the room and things like that.
Yeah.
You could, if you wanted to as well. Sorry to cut in. If he wants to get on Mouse's good side, like taking an apple to the teacher, you could tell him about Mouse's love of crab puffs. Yeah,
I would assume that would be. I'd use that as an analogy, I guess, for trying to get on someone's good side. Like, so for Mouse, you'd bring him some crab cakes or something similar.
Yeah. Fair enough. So, Mice, in that case, the night before the inauguration or registry, I don't know, the ceremony.
Inauguration.
Yeah, the inauguration of
Give him insanity points.
of Mice's platoon. Andrews appears to have arranged a large booze up with a particularly large table stacked up high with various shellfish related nibbly bits.
Okay, Mouse is. He's obviously going to immediately draw his attention, so he's going to go over and sample it.
It is of some particularly good quality, of officer quality, if you will.
Okay, and nods approvingly and keeps shoving stuff in his face.
Fantastic. So yes, the thing comes around the next day, and you know what? We're gonna roll D100 to see just how well the Ogryn platoon does at the whole parade ground end of things.
Okay.
So we'll call this a command roll for Mouse.
Any just a flat roll?
We'll say a plus 10 because everybody really wants to impress.
That's a reroll. I always do so well with rerolls, but I might get lucky. Oh, there we go.
Nice.
Nice.
Yes, the Ogrins are very much up to scratch as far as what the Inquisitor is hoping for in a special training regiment for the Ogrins, and there's nods of approval, and Andrews, despite only being there for 3 days, is he looks very proud of what anybody out of the loop would assume to be his achievement. The Sean Fancy Word Andrews gives a very, very basic prepared speech of what the unit's going to be there for and blah 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 blah. And Mouse, you're called up to receive the officialness, the official bits of your post as chief trainer.
Oh, okay.
Sir Ogryn First Class. I'm not familiar with the. I'll double check the rankings, but yeah, you are top Ogryn, without question.
Og.
I'm going to take this as an excuse for even more gold braid.
Of course. So, the Inquisitor himself will be waiting from onto the podium on top of the erected stage in the hangar bay. All sort of Thunderhawk has been used as a backdrop for this whole event, of course, and Inquisitor pulls the cloth off a what you could have confused as some sort of strange obelisk on the podium to reveal a set of best quality Ogryn armor, along with the shield.
Ooh.
Ooh, indeed.
Ooh.
Fancy.
Because
Very
he's
fancy.
not spongy enough.
Indeed.
Jesus Christ.
The shield's decorated with the brand new sort of regiment designation, of which I will let you decide over the break. And
Mouse strokes it gently and says, "My precious."
resting against them is an Ogryn-sized power maul.
Ooh.
Because-
all the
because-
toys.
So
Because it wasn't overpowered enough.
I know, right? But it's fine.
Guess what that means? All the humans in our campaign are getting mulched next time we're in combat.
So part
Flying mince.
of my reasoning for this is that when they're using it's one of the shield stance or like defensive stance or whatever it is, Mouse can literally act as mobile cover for you, which you might need with how I plan on stepping things up. The interesting little quirk about the
Yay.
power maul is that it's got two settings. It can be used as a shocking baton. By baton I mean like death bludgeoning tool, but nonetheless will do shocking damage. And
Gonna cave their chest in, but it's gonna make it nice and crispy at the same
exactly,
time.
yeah. And yeah, you can also dial it up to maximum and turn it into a power weapon essentially.
We call it the barbecue stick.
I'll plug the stats in later, but yeah, this is some fancy shit. Now Mouse realizes why the armors were like measuring him up the other day.
Okay. He thought they were just, admiring his body. He was okay with that.
Yeah. I was going to say, lifting the crab puff up to his mouth, and then there's suddenly a measuring tape around the bicep. And it's like, the fuck? that sort of thing.
Did they ask him which side he hung?
What?
Like when you go to the tailor. Not that I've ever been to a tailor, but
Well, when you go to have a suit made at a proper old-fashioned tailor's, they ask you which side you hang.
I just wanted you to clarify that that's in fact what you were talking about. I thought I'd
Come on,
It
of all
actually is.
people. Of all people to question that, really?
I'm old, I know about these things.
I just wanted to make sure.
But what am I talking about? I've got YouTube Millions. Of course, I get all my clothes tailored.
All that
Obviously.
lovely advertising revenue.
DRM.
all 50 pence of it.
Wah, wah. But yes. As I pointed, I will let you flesh out the specifics of this regiment during the break, and make it a bit more your own. But
It's not just like a little cadre of Ogryns anymore. It's a full size.
it's a full platoon of like 50 Ogryns.
Nice. Okay.
So it is as much a resource for the ship as it is. Yeah. No, that's not saying. Can we bring, can we bring 12 Ogrins with us in for this encounter? Because if you do that, I will actually I will genuinely bring out stupid things to kill you all with.
Oh no!
Better than
here
clever
comes
things.
Mr. Zoanthrope. Ah!
No.
Oh dear, High
We
Fleet
don't-
Leviathan's back!
Exactly, yeah.
We've got murder servitors and Ogryns. We don't even need to leave the ship now.
What's
Malcolm's
that?
gonna be the one with the arch nemesis now. Captain Carnifex is coming to eat us.
What's that? A flyrant? What? What's that?
Before it can no longer fly because it's got 5 Ogryns ripping off its wings.
Squint. Is it like squint? Is that a broadside a kilometer away? And then the fucking Ogryn next to you turns into chunky salsa. Yep.
Oh, look out of that porthole. Is that Abaddon the Despoiler on this planet killer?
Actual Slanesh.
Pretty much.
You'd be pleased by that.
Yes. Yes, I would.
Cool.
Because I would charm the shit out of it.
Then get nailed
Sure. Sure.
That'll be the one time I
up.
roll
There
a
we
1.
go. There goes your monetization. Susan Wojcicki's on the case.
Oh, dear. Okay.
Crit charming Slanesh.
So at that, I think we'll take a 5-minute break.
Yes.
Coffee time!
Black ship better give me fucking mind-powered warp grenades. Just to keep up with all this shit.
Where did I put my backstory thing? That was on Google Docs, right?
I'm back.
So, Mouse now has something that will both stop and restart your heart.
So what you're saying is I should put some skills into like Medicaid talents as well. Mouse the combat medic.
No, you have people that do that for you now, mate. Pointy. You have
True.
peoples.
It's just that's a very Ogryn, like, you know, Ogryn defibrillator, literally a power maul.
No, you should kill them and then shock them and then wonder why they keep getting back up.
Actually, on another Ogryn, you're probably right. Any thoughts took out of arms yet, Pointy?
I don't know.
I had one thought, if you want to hear it, and it is a sensible one, don't worry.
Well, you know, go on, sure.
An Ogryn holding the head of a mutant, and as the backdrop, the sign of the Emperor. Or something like that, maybe.
What about a large mouse in Ogryn armor?
I wonder if they'd let me have something with like an inquisitorial seal at the background.
I imagine so, as being as this whole thing's been initiated by an Inquisitor.
Indeed, the regiment is seconded to the Ordo Calixis, being the Inquisition in the Calixis sector in general. So it's, essentially it's available of use for any Inquisitor that wishes to give you some Ogryns to train up for a while. It's coincidentally, it's also been left as until you say they're ready. So.
Oh, I returned. Sorry about that.
No worries. Everybody back.
Yep.
Mr. Dodge. Back.
I do kind of like the mouse in armor idea, though. Maybe that on like a backdrop of an inquisitorial seal.
Can't you mean the kind of stylized? What is it? Would you say it's kind of like a stylized eye, isn't it?
I'm back.
Letter eye.
Yeah.
I actually just found it on my desk. Years ago I got one from on one of my visits when I was selling Warhammer 40k. I've actually got an inquisitorial badge.
I got one as a patch for airsofting a few years ago.
Yeah.
I've lost it somewhere. It's in a box.
Nerd!
Is it not in the box with your fucking P90 still?
Probably.
Good old P90.
I do have to say, Kelson, though, that was a hugely impressive no.
I was going to say pretty much all I've got from so far is a no and a nerd tonight, so we'll have to change that.
Well, if you had a look at what's happened, you've got a social event which Lucius doesn't do, and you've got a meeting with the Inquisition which Lucius doesn't do.
Indeed.
I quite like my microphone because I can get right up close like this, and it's really loud.
Get that gain. Hey, you fucking ignored me and I'm in the airlock right next to your workshop!
Yeah, well, he wants to turn you into a psychic server skull, so.
Surely that would make him take a keen interest
You are my thrall.
in trying to break me. Well, I'll have you know. The ship will break before Hendrickson does.
Everybody back?
Yep.
Matt? Whatever, he's only the retreat, we don't need him. It's fine.
He's fallen into a pit of debauchery again.
It's alright. We can go on a little bit. So, with about I suppose about a week or so to go before the bet's concluded at this point. First off, how will Mouse be settling into his very, very official new role with his very fancy new armor?
Probably some kind of parade. There's got to be corridors and areas big enough to. So there'd be lots of drilling of marching and saluting first for the new recruits. But
Have like Ogryn running through the ship and things.
yeah, but also he just wants to show his armor off a bit. So after maybe a week or so, when he's convinced he can at least get them to all walk in the same direction, do something resembling a salute, going to organise some kind of parade. For the glory of the Emperor and all that kind of thing.
Of course, of course.
And back. Sorry.
Good. So, there's about a week or so to go before the bet is concluded. Is there any final bits of preparation you wish to be doing, or are you pretty much happy enough?
It's probably a little bit late to be looking for weapons or something.
We could do it afterwards.
Could do.
I would like to do two things.
Okay.
First of all, I'd like to check in on my new best friend and see how he's doing.
He's basically under a pile of paperwork because he's decided that's best where he belongs. Apparently, trying to tell Mouse to do his job hasn't worked out very well for him, and he's resigned himself to desk duty.
Well, I would give some consolation, and I would give some assurance that Mouse definitely knows what he's doing, so there's no worries to try and make him do. Try and tell Mouse what to do. If you just cover the paperwork, because Mouse can't read or write. I don't think.
Indeed.
And then, secondly, I would like to go down to the underdecks with my batch and see how they're getting along on the other ships.
There hasn't been any major updates. They're still trying to find sort of decent inroads and whatnot. As none of the ships have started sort of any plans on leaving. There hasn't been any major requests for extra staff and whatnot yet, so they haven't got themselves all in a legitimate matter yet.
Okay. I believe that was everything.
Fair enough. In that case, a couple of days before the ceremony of the bet, Constantine, members of the Order Titanicus will be in contact by Lucius, and they'll say they wish to present with your honours.
Fantastic. I assume Constantine would know what they mean by that.
Not specifically, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm more than happy with honours. It sounds good to me.
Fair enough.
So, will they be coming to us? Do I need to host them on the ship? Do I need to?
Yes, it's a contingent from the Order Titanicus. They are coming from deeper within the Click sector, specifically in person to see you. Actually,
Cool. I make relevant preparations. Send me down the hallways with incense and stuff. Make them feel at home.
fair enough. So, I was gonna say, how public would you like to make this, as far as acknowledgement's concerned?
It's like you don't know me at all.
It's more just for my own clarification. Rather than
I
making
mean-
assumptions.
Theodore would want to make a big deal of this. It's,
Of course.
literal fanfare. Do I have a band?
If you want,
I'm sure
yes.
we must. I'm sure there must be a ship's band somewhere.
Mouse?
As
How quick can you rustle one up?
as master of ceremonies and traditions, would I think that's what they do.
Yeah.
Would I be able to do something?
That would definitely be among your skill set. Yes, that.
Then I shall make it a very warm welcome for the Orders Titanicus.
Fantastic.
Is
Yeah.
there like a theme tune for the Titanicus?
It's the Imperial March.
Make sure that the Imperial March is being played.
You sure it's not? Never mind. I'll get inside points.
So yeah, the ceremony happened, some speeches are had, and produce the special like hololithic maps and whatnot of the Titan dots and everybody on deck knows just how much of a fantastic achievement this is. Constantine, you specifically, by the Archmagos there, are awarded a Solex Energy Blade, a master-crafted Solex Energy Blade.
Ooh.
It's made by the Archmagos himself. He has made exactly 5 of these in his entire life of 427 years. And every single the others have been three of the others have been worn by high-ranking members of the Mechanicus themselves. One a trusted old friend in the Order Titanicus, and one other by a Lord Inquisitor. So it is rather significant award, to say the least.
Swanky.
Very. They also offer you a favor in the grandest sense of the word, and will fulfill that favor whenever the dynasty asks of it.
Useful.
Very.
On and all the various honored in the records and blah 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 blah. They give you a an encrypted hololithic token, I suppose, as a sign of their as that favor essentially. Each of you guys, please add peer. Peer. I was going to say peer Mechanicus, if you don't already have it.
Well, all of us have.
Yep, every single one of you that participated in the recovery of Titan. This is everybody here at the minute.
This a skill thing.
Yeah. The talent.
Yeah, be under talents and traits.
Yep.
Oh, right, okay, so it's not a rollable thing.
No, it's a talent.
Or is it?
So you get a plus 10, I believe it is, to any interactions with the Mechanicus.
Right.
They're not always useful, but, it's a
Hmm.
really nice one.
I mean, that's incredibly useful for me.
I'll get you the stats thing later. But yes, is there anything you would ask of the Magos now? In a not in a fulfilling the favor sort of way, but a simpler request sort of way, if you have any.
No, I think I'm pretty chuffed with the whole occasion.
I still like energy, but I meant Aegis energy. But whatever.
Where
I'll link
where
you.
would that be? All right, cool.
It's the lightsaber, basically.
Nice.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Constantine Skywalker.
Nice.
Oh, and because it's mastercrafted, you're adding an extra 2 to that damage.
Very, very nice.
Mm-hmm. And obviously there's the things that go with, on top of it being best quality, so you're getting a plus 10 on weapon skill related tests when using it.
Yes. Yes, this would do nicely.
I'll tweak the damage on it because it doesn't. The rules of the blade itself don't include strength bonus, but your strength bonus will automatically be added to it. So, whatever your strength bonus, take that out of the damage, and that'll balance it out basically. Strength bonus of 4, so just take 4 out of the damage, and that, so it'll be D10 plus 4. Yeah, and then because the macro automatically adds strength bonus to it, so that'll balance out.
Okay. Cool. Is it still exotic? Yes.
No, it's not exotic. It's, I mean, it's used as a sword, so you're really trained in it. And for Lucius, you've been gifted a well, it's supposed to be a little bit of an experiment by the Archmagos at the minute, and gives you a best crafted arc pistol mechadendrite.
Yes, another limb. Yeah, Lucius would be extremely grateful.
'Cause, I mean that's more token for the occasion, as you've obviously already received the recognition from the Mechanicum sort of more in private, as well as received your Amnesia Max as the symbol status, so more token for the occasion. The Archmagos also request that Theodore reward members of his crew that have not been brought to his attention in some shape, form, or fashion, and they will see those rewards fulfilled. So, again, we can sort of discuss those out of character, so we can sort of like the more specific rewards, I suppose. But yeah. So I believe Garviel was after. It was light power armor, wasn't it?
Yeah. With the stone bolter.
Yes. Yeah. It's light power armor with the wrist-mounted storm bolter on it. Yep. I was going to say we need to get something for Jericus and I suppose for Hendrickson in the meantime, I'm going to consider the Ogryn regiment upgrade as mouses in that case. Unless you want to reward specifically with something else, I don't really know. But, yes.
How mad would everyone be, by the way, if I called them the Mouseketeers?
That'd be good. That's going to be good. 101st Mouseketeers.
Okay. So, the day will go on. There will be some binaries and whatnot. I was going to say, Lucius, this will have been the most successful social event you've ever been to, mostly because all of them speak the same language and we're singing your praises both at the same time.
Oh, wonderful.
So really didn't have to do any talking at all, other than repeat the exact same phrases of "I did this," "I am awesome," "I recovered a Titan." That's pretty much it. Occasionally dragging Jericus over and pointing at his arm, and it's like, "Yes, that's some of my recent handiwork." That sort of thing. I imagine. Do not wish to put words in your mouth because that's not my style, but up to yourself.
No, that's pretty in line with him so far.
Fair enough. Yes. We'll just skip on to the bet. In that case, unless anyone is anything else they want to add.
No. Can you just have a look at that? Make sure I've done it right. So it's +2 for best, and then -4 for.
Yeah, that's correct. It's also balanced and it's got power field, but yes.
One thing, Phil, if that's okay.
Of course.
Can we say somewhere before the end that he goes for fitting of the black carapace?
Yeah. That's all fine.
Alright.
I'm guessing I can fish some canister fuel out of somewhere.
Yeah, totally. It can use the same canisters as your combi plas uses, so yeah, you have ready access to flasks.
So in basicness, Phil, is it just like a sword hilt and then the blade comes out of the hilt like a saber?
It is quite literally a lightsaber in description.
Mm-hmm.
What colour?
White blue. Pretty sure I've linked it before, but
You have, yes.
it's pretty fucking cool. And I'm also fairly sure by your weapon skill, it's almost impossible for you to fail by 5 or more. Oh, not quite. No, given the quality of it, yeah, it's impossible for you to fail by 5 or more degrees of success, so you can't kill yourself with it.
Sweet.
So that's always a good thing, right?
I mean, yeah, with my squishy nature.
Cool. So how's Hendrickson doing in the airlock for the last week? Is there anybody been visiting him?
Garviel will pop down and give him the, maintenance updates of his Thunderhawk and stuff, because he knows he loves it.
Mouse brings him some more colouring books.
Can't colour if you don't open the fucking door!
Could I have brought him out
That's
for...
gonna drive me mad.
Could I have brought him out for the ceremony with the Titanicus?
I don't know. Ask the Rogue Trader and the Spider-Man.
Road Trader and Spider-Man?
Spider-Man will say no, because he don't want me anywhere near those kind of machines.
Well, I'd take him out and say, don't get excited. And I'd probably stand quite close to him the whole time. With my Inferno pistol.
I'd say that's a reasonable amount of precautions.
Fair enough. Hendrickson, will you try any funny business?
I don't want to fucking go.
Okay, sounds good.
I don't like these people much anymore.
Oh dear.
The only one that I like is the one that's still polite to me, and Mouse, because Mouse, he's an idiot, but he means well.
Fair enough.
I'm sending people to feed you. Unless I've got an elaborate system of tubes.
My opinion of you's not really changed, to be honest.
Sweet enough then. Okay.
I spend my evenings with a succession of people through his cockpit.
Okay.
That is sick and twisted, man.
There are booby tracks in my cockpit.
Are there? I haven't heard anything about these before now, man.
Oh, is it like Fury
There are-
Road where you have to?
There are
I
boobies and
told you I
traps.
retrofitted it, and you said yes.
You have to do the ignition sequence in a particular way.
Yes.
And then like bang the console in a particular spot.
Most of the spots.
Anyway,
I wish I was sorry.
moving on to the bet. So,
Just you wait.
Theodore, you'll receive an invitation much like you did last year, except this time, the bottom third of the invitation is made up of large, I suppose, advertisement of sorts, announcing the daring conclusion between houses Constantine and Whimsit, the great bet that was laid out 2 years ago, and who will bring back the greatest prize for their dynasty. And a battle of pride and blah 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 blah. It's all very fluffed up. Somebody's got a
Hashtag
very good
what
Seneschal.
dynasty?
Well, or somebody's got a very good PR team. Let's put it that way.
I didn't get the memo. His dynasty's almost dead.
It's the Imperium. People die all the time.
I don't like that sentiment.
So
what exactly am I bringing down to the patch of terror? Oh,
that's a good question. What are you bringing?
Might I suggest the recordings, if we still have them, that Lucius had from entering the ship? Might I also suggest that you start by saying you found an Omnesian axe, and then going on to say where you found it? Might be quite suspenseful.
Mm-hmm.
As being as letting the crowd down and then building them back up again.
It's all sounding good so far. Because I think one of the stipulations was that it had to be brought to the patch of earth.
Well, we are kind of breaking the rules slightly there, as we cannot bring a bloody titan to this patch of earth, can we not?
Perhaps you could get Lucius to make like a hologram of that particular class of titan.
If the members of the Titanicus are still here, we could probably ask them for confirmation.
They are still on Port Wonder, yes.
So probably invite them along too, to confirm and possibly in place of such machine.
Indeed.
I mean, we have an OP Ogryn in mega armor with a legion of other highly trained Ogryn.
It's kind of unrelated though to the.
Yeah.
Yes, the barbecue stick and a giant slab of metal.
The two things are the axe and the.
Yes.
Yeah.
We build up to that. We introduce the party, and then we.
What I would say is we would let them go first, let them announce whatever puny thing they've got, and then say, we found an amnesian axe. And if it's not as good as what they've got, fair enough, and then we go, but where we found it is even more interesting, and then we go on and show the video,
Cool, trial
bring
by
out the
fire.
Titanicus. Yes.
That sounds like more than enough prep to me. Trial by fire. So, you arrive at the gala. Like I said, invitation as much as before, and the place is definitely heaving with activity. Might be an accurate way of putting it. Lucius,
You didn't need to go through all this trouble.
So, Lucius immediately you get a sort of a mechadendrite related wave from sort of one corner of the room. There's a couple of gentlemen from the Titanicus, but one of the magos that was there yesterday is in attendance, speaking to the explorators of the other dynasties that are there, and he specifically waved you over for conversation and whatnot.
Oh, sure, yeah, head over.
It's the old Mechanicus corner of the room again.
Yeah, sure.
Insert dial-up noises.
I just
Basically,
have a very stupid thought. Is an Omnesian axe how you combat noise marines? No? Anyone? No? Okay. Axe as in guitar. It's a bit laboured, but I don't know. Welcome to my brain, everyone.
Pointy.
Can he get insanity points?
It sounds like he's already got them.
I think he's drunk on crab puffs.
Oh no, on the mixture of the crab puffs and gin.
Crab
I don't know if it's
puffs and
possible for the
engine
player
fuel.
to get insanity points, but, you know, give it a go. Also, disappointingly, Google doesn't have any pictures of Warhammer 40,000 electric guitars. Just noise marine guitars. Very disappointed. I thoroughly deserve that.
But yes, Mice. Thankfully, as the the officer in charge at this point, while you are in charge of security at this event, you don't need to participate in it this time because you've got flunkies for that now.
Okay. I'll be in my new armour, which will be highly polished.
Of course.
Shiny.
I found a picture, by the way.
Yep.
Andrew did recommend that you leave the shield behind because it might intimidate some people in the wrong way.
Yeah. It's
Yes,
not
'cause
entirely
the giant-
necessary and a bit cumbersome for just, casual use, so yeah.
The giant man in highly polished armor won't be intimidating enough.
I was going to say, confusingly for Mouse, some of the finely dressed people in this place, instead of him saluting them all the time, some of them are actually, at the very least bracing themselves for Mouse as he appears that little bit more imposing now. The very shiny new armor of status and non-commissioned officerness.
Can I get all the ladies?
And I think there'd be a bit of confused return salutes. Because he's not used to people saluting him.
Fair enough.
Have you tried out the acoustics in this new suit of armor?
Acoustics?
Yes. What sort of noise does it make?
Oh, how good of a ding does the helmet make?
Yeah, is it still a clang or is it a
Like a
glorious
Chinese
chime? Yeah.
It's more
Yeah,
like it's more like a finely tuned like bell tower at this point, like one of the big boy bells.
Okay.
The resonance is slightly more pleasant now, but nonetheless rings just as
Every
well.
time you salute, Peter Parker loses his symbiote.
The
I'm sorry.
I'll give you that one.
because he doesn't have that comfortable dent he's used to where he's saluted, so he keeps saluting a little bit harder than he means to.
Fair enough. So Theodore, at a casual glance out the sort of glass doors over here, you will note that there is a large drape over the holy ground of Terra, and something rather large seems to be contained under it.
Any suggestion as to the shape, or is it?
No, it seems to be fairly well obscured by the cloth. It's big though.
Like bigger than mouse big? Actually, yes.
Yes.
The size of the dots would indicate yes.
Yes. And yeah, so there's plenty of faces you haven't seen for a couple of years, and they're shaking your hands, welcoming you all back, and all this sorts of thing. And a few people that have said, oh yes, I've got lots of money riding in you, Constantine. Yes, invest all, let me down now. What have you got up your sleeve? I see you don't have anything coming in yet, do you? Mm-hmm.
Is the guy that organised the race there?
No.
Okay.
Lowburn Skill's a little bit busy at the moment.
Try not to die.
Pretty much, yeah. He's like, other than the Whimsits, he's basically the only one that hasn't suffered any major losses, and that's only because he's like literally the biggest dynasty out there, and has the manpower and whatnot to swing around. He's also kind of out of the way.
No
relatively
one will
speaking.
ask about me. That face.
But yes. Oh yeah, did you bring Callie with you, or is she still in the ship?
I mean,
Riding on Mouse's
does-
shoulder.
I was about to ask whether Mouse has some sort of inbuilt, like child seat, cup holders, that sort of thing.
Don't believe so.
Just up on the shoulder, maybe. I mean, you have been babysitting, so yeah.
Oh, is that canon now? Well,
Is it? Okay.
I thought it was.
How has she not died from malnutrition on, a solely crab cake diet?
I thought she got foisted off on underling. There has to be some kind of childcare facility.
I was going to say. I mean, in my head, she was foisted off, and what were her handmaidens come nannies, that sort of thing.
Did any of them age or de-age?
No, they got lucky.
Wait a minute. Amusing.
Anyway. You know what? Just for laughs, I'm going to say she's been walking alongside Constantine. Okay.
Could I look around the observing crowd and see if there's anything odd between anyone?
Oh, most definitely, yeah. Give me an awareness test today, plus 20. Yeah, you see Whimsit pretty much immediately at the back, and he appears to have a not entirely human compatriot.
Indeed. Okay. Does he have any other entourage with him, or?
There appears to be a couple of people around him, but he would appear to be the only one wearing the Woodhouse colours.
Okay.
Lucius, there's been a little bit of chatter in your little cloister of tech priest of there being a Xenos in the room, and there's been some discussions of what everybody has, on hand and concealed to deal with such a threat if it happens to break out, start trying to steal technology or whatever they do.
I'd like to escalate my optical mechadendrite a couple of meters above the crowd and try and search for it.
Yeah, give me a search test at a +20. Yeah, you spot it. It's beside Whimsy.
Can I tell what it is?
Yeah, it's a Dark Eldar.
Interesting. What's it equipped with?
It doesn't appear to be equipped with anything.
Is it restrained in some way?
No, it's definitely not.
Fine, equipped.
I mean, it's got
So
like some fairly standard-looking, like the Xenomesh that everybody's familiar with. It's got some of that on, and appears to be having a rather nice chat with Whimsit and whatnot.
So Lucius will lower periscope and share with his Mechanicus friends what he saw. An unarmed, unrestrained Dark Eldar. Is it a woman?
Male.
Okay. Armoured?
There seems to be some sort of like carapace going
Okay.
on, but it's the sort of clothing's woven around it and whatnot. It's somewhat concealed under it.
Alright, yeah. Yeah, that's what we'll share. In binary cant so that no one else can hear.
Of course. There's some hms and has and whatnots, and there's a couple of hypotheticals. What? I wonder if we could examine such a thing. Would you take great offense to the Xenos dying off? Would we be doing a greater service if we were to deal with this potential threat?
Bleep bloop, bleep bleep bleep
Basically,
bloop.
yeah. There's discussion, but because there's no like outward display of xenotech, other than whatever minor tech heresy that the armor consists of in its construction, nobody seems particularly keen to sort of jump out and start causing a ruckus, but are a little bit on edge, I think might be the way of putting it. So what's the plan, Constantine? I mean, there's a meal plan first, of course, but are you just going to socialise until have the meal and then go out, or are you going to seek out Whimsit in the meantime, or?
Oh no, I'm letting him come to me.
Ah, the power move, of course. So, fair enough. Well, in that case,
He wants the Dark Eldar weeaboo to approach him before he makes the first move.
fair enough. Give me a flat. Well, it's a flat charm test from me. Given the situation, feel free to apply any relevant bonuses. This is for your general social skills at this event.
Okay, so it's a formal situation.
Yes.
People will know that I have a renowned warrant.
Mhm.
And charm.
Yep.
Yes, so plus 20 is an auto pass, so
Like I said, it's more to see just how well you do at it. That well. Cool.
Jesus Christ.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's another 2 degrees to go there.
Yeah.
Hello, ladies.
Pretty much, yeah. And anytime some of the, shall we say, appropriately aged ladies, start getting a little bit too friendly, you do get an elbow in the testicular region, from a sort of a somewhat shortened Callie.
I told you not to do that anymore. To wait.
Yeah. So how are you handling the questions of both? I thought you were younger, and is that your daughter?
Granddaughter.
How's he be passing those questions off?
Oh, I'm flatly ignoring them.
Fair enough. And with that charm test, I'm going to say you're going to be getting away with flatly ignoring them and segueing it on to something else. Fair enough.
He remembered his old spice today.
Fair enough. So the meal progresses. Grandfather Constantine and Brant, and I can't even remember the name of the guy that I had in charge of this thing. Whatever. The owner of this lovely little establishment, him and his crew, blah 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 blah. The meal goes by fairly uneventfully, unless anybody wants to make it eventful. And the night will progress on, and eventually be a sort of tapping of the glasses.
Sorry, could I
Yes?
eye up the Dark Eldar to see if they've got any weapons concealed or any weapons at all?
Okay. Hang on. Range these all appropriately.
Just to, if they like get up and walk around or something.
Probably about that. Yeah, so I mean, while they're walking around, can I have a... How close do you want to get? Do you want to, like, distinctly maintain distance, or are you going to try and, like, sort of walk past at some point?
Would I be able to walk past by, I don't know, getting a drink or something similar?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm not...
Social butterflying.
Sort of, walk past, but sort of not say hello or anything unless they say hello to me or something.
Sure. I'll take a flat scrutiny then.
Trying to be that James Bond.
Oh, I'm gonna re-roll that. Where is it again? That's better.
Oh, very nice. You think you see what could be a concealed pistol of some sort?
Excuse me.
Okay. And would I know what type of weapons that an Eldar or a Dark Eldar would take?
Do you have any knowledge of those at all? Judging by your sheet, I'm going to say no.
I have legends, but that might be stretching it slightly.
I'll take a minus 30 roll on that.
Yes, well... Yeah, I thought so.
That's fair.
I would also like to... I'd like to inform Constantine, Theodore and Lucius, and those around me of our team crew that they do have a concealed weapon, which I'm guessing is not too uncommon in this room.
Not really.
I mean, I believe I'd be openly carrying mine.
Yeah, your energy blade. Yeah, I would assume that would be like most people. Like most people who are wearing the power swords and whatnot, mostly as like a dress thing. Obviously, well, the higher ranking mechanics member of their amnesian axes is, it's the status walking stick of them, that sort of thing. Most people have like at least a sidearm with them, I think would be the way to describe it.
Garviel would announce over private comms to the party that he is quite amazed that an armed Xenos is in the room.
It is well concealed, I might add. Like it's that I was making sure that there was like decent degrees, like more than like 2 degrees of success in that pass.
Concealed prison rules.
Yeah, I would like to say that it is quite well concealed. And I would also like to ask Does anybody know what type of weapons these things carry?
I can see if I do.
Yeah, Lucius might know.
Yeah,
But without observing himself, he probably wouldn't be able to tell exactly.
yeah, I've got Forbidden Law Xenos.
For those with Forbidden Lore Xenos, by description only, I will take that at a -20.
Oh! Slightly better, but still shit.
Bad.
I'm all over the place this evening.
Say it's a splinter pistol. It's the. Is it?
Yep. I think so.
Yeah, splinter pistol.
Okay, yeah, Lucius would relay this knowledge and say it's a standard Dark Eldar sidearm splinter pistol. It's fairly regular. Fires what are effectively extremely sharp darts.
I'm picturing Needler from
Halo.
Halo. Yeah.
More or less.
As far as the projectile's concerned, yeah, it's reasonably accurate. That's what they look like.
Oh, it's, yeah.
Okay. So I guess still over the comms, I would say we should split our firepower if this thing goes a bit wrong. So half of us go for Whimsit and the other half go for the Xenos. And Mouse can choose whatever.
Lucius will respond and say if the Xenos engages, it'll be extremely difficult even for all of us to take it down. Dark Eldar Dark Eldar agility is infamous.
Indeed.
Nimbly Doge.
Yep,
Let's just
pretty
hope we don't
much.
get that far. That's all from me.
Okay.
Nimbly Doge, and then put protrusions into each one of your heads.
I would suggest not killing Whimsit. Yeah, just a wrap around the ear might be fine, but not with a power maul. If you could.
Fair enough. So, it was it wasn't Lord Inquisitor, was it? No, it's just Inquisitor. Inquisitor Brant will tip tap his glass and get everybody's attention. And say, "Oh, we've had a wonderful night so far, thanks to our gracious hosts. And now we shall move on to the main event, as we've all been waiting the last 2 years for the conclusion of. If everybody would like to step out to the Arboreum, we shall see the conclusion of the bet between House Whimsit and House Constantine." It's worth noting, you see Brant, like, he barely takes his eyes off the Dark Eldar, being Norduzina's Inquisitor, of course. Obviously something that's obviously some sort of paperwork or authority that's stopping it from, like, literally just decapitating it here and there. But hey ho. If everybody likes to move their tokens out to the sort of garden, as it were, like them.
Perhaps ask Jericus if he wants to. Oh god, giant spider.
Help, I'm massive.
Yeah, perhaps have a word with Jericus. Maybe he wants to mention to the Inquisitor that Xenos is armed.
Jericus would give a nod. And I would like to try and discreetly, as possible. I guess the Inquisitor would be walking in with us, with Theodore as being as he's a friend of, or with the grandfather, I'm guessing.
Yes.
I would walk with them and inform them both of of the Xenos being armed. I will tell them it is a pistol, sidearm, but I will say nonetheless they are armed.
The Inquisitor smiles at you and sort of pulls back his cloak a little bit to reveal a rather fancy-looking storm boulder ready to go. Says, "Don't worry, boy. I'm more than prepared to deal with these Xeno scum."
Inquisitor Kratos.
I wouldn't doubt that you aren't, and I'd pull back and show my own Inferno pistol to show him. To say, just giving you a heads up, Inquisitor.
It gives you a gracious nod.
Boy.
But where's Mouse going to be in these festivities?
Oh, come back just at the right time, clearly. What's happening?
They're going out to the garden for the festivities.
Okay.
Would you
I
like to
guess
be
Mouse
placed?
would generally drift out as well, probably with a platter of crab puffs in one hand.
Going off for the Dark Eldar, a fucking crab puff, please. Try and make friends.
Is that in order?
Try and make friends with the pointy one.
Okay, I want.
No, that's not in order.
Don't listen to the unsanctioned psyker.
I'm not even there, I'm all in your head.
Don't let the heresy get to you.
Oh shit, I'm in his head. That means I'm in the Inquisitor's head. Oh no!
Mouse always does what the voices in his head tell him. Wait, what?
You've still got that soul gem in your pocket. Do you carry that around with you, or is that like left like as an ornament in his bedroom or something like
Shiny
that?
thing. Oh yeah, he's probably got the shiny thing on like a keychain or something.
Earring.
It's a fucking necklace!
Oh,
Please.
I was gonna say, you hear the strange voice from the shiny thing as you come to realize that's where it originates from. The voice from the shiny thing is it's giving you a sense of concern and distrust of the strange Xenosy person over there, the guy with the pointy ears.
To be fair, I think I would already have that sense because they're clearly a filthy Xeno scum.
That's fair. So yes, as soon as everybody's like arranged themselves and fresh drinks have been poured and everybody's ready to go, sort of Whimsit sort of noticing that you Theodore haven't stepped up onto the grass will immediately pronounce out, "You see, he's brought nothing with him. He's here with nothing to show but himself. He's accomplished nothing in the last 2 years." And there's the sort of crowd around. Some of the obvious supporters of him have started sort of laughing and chuckling and whatnot.
Oh, fuck, what was I going to say?
See, he's even lost for words.
Oh, sorry, didn't see you. How is your baby sister? How is your baby sister?
Yes, I was going to get to that. You abducted her, didn't you? See, everybody has to steal from other people to try and get bargaining tools to win a bet.
Did I abduct you? Turns the child at my hip.
And then you see the realization in his face, and it's like, what have you done? And you see him like instantly sort of reaching for his sword.
Now, and I just whip back my cloak to reveal my lightsaber and power sword on each hip. No need for any of that. It's just childish behaviour.
Callie will clarify she went on her own accord, and the de-aging thing was not of Constantine's doing. He seems unconvinced. I was going to say, he's looking angry at this point and says, well, regardless of the transgressions against my family, he still has not fulfilled his end of the bet.
How so?
You bring nothing to show. Where I have this, and he pulls off the cloak to reveal what looks like some sort of Tau battle suit.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's...
It's an almost fully intact broadside suit for reference.
Fuck.
Specifically, that's an old pattern, XV88.
It is.
Does somebody want to fill me in on the significance of this thing?
I guess, do you want to roll to recognise this, Phil?
Yeah, sure.
I see.
Again, I was going to say, given your exposure to Tau, I will give you a +20.
From myself, or?
I'll give Lucius a +20 on Forbidden Lord Xenos. You can have a -20.
I see your communist robot boy, and I will raise you from giant mech boy.
Oh, it was close.
Yeah, Lucius, you know exactly what that is. Anyone with I was going to say, whoever else is Xenos can roll at a -20. Lucius is the only one I'm giving the big boy bonus to in this one. Anybody else want to roll?
Your mouse would definitely know what that is.
I can't see it.
Obviously.
That's fair enough.
No idea.
Okay, that's cool. Just may as well do the roll. There's some very, very, very distinct oohs and ahs from the crowd. Even Inquisitor Brant looks somewhat impressed. It's a very, very good find, my boy. Those are rather difficult to kill, let alone capture. Theodore, I hope you've brought something to the table. It's gonna beat that.
Well, I mean, for a start, we've recovered this. I gesture over my shoulder to Lucius.
Who will have some sort of hololith projector. I'm going to say.
I thought we were going to lead with the.
You're going to lead with the axe. Okay.
Mold them into a false sense of security.
And then expand upon how we recovered it and
okay.
What it was over the top of.
Can I take a flat blather? I mean, that's again that's a flat blather. For me, you can add the +20 for the renown in the situation. On top of that.
Here, nobility.
Yeah, sure. I think that's relevant.
Cool.
Nice.
Nice. So you successfully patter on through the story, and you're getting the oohs and ahs and whatnot. The almost getting shot down and coming across a planet full of mutants and killing one of them on your first contact.
Don't forget the crocodile.
Yes.
Fight.
There's a pit fight and a massive crocodile didn't end up falling in the thing. And
Unsurprisingly, our Ogryn was able to dispatch with him. He literally blended him.
Ooh.
Mouse salutes, forgetting he's holding the now empty platter, and it produces an even louder clang than usual.
Double gong. You hit a gong with a gong.
Then he's left with a very bent platter. Probably a very, expensive
It's a secondary helmet
silver,
on top of the
platinum,
helmet
whatever
now.
it is.
Platinum platter. Decadent. So tell the story and then say how we found a lost. I would say it was a Imperium ship, not a Titan carrier. Obviously, don't want to spoil this.
You should say one of the original Explorator fleets.
Yes. I'm sure I've got helpful tidbits being fed through the box teleprompter of sorts. And then explain that we discovered inside the Omnisian axe of a long preserved Magos. Archmagos? Just Magos.
Engineer.
Engineer, yes. Terms. And below was this, and I would gesture for the projection. Unfortunately, it's a bit too large for this small patch of grass that you've got your little tin can sat upon, but just to give you an idea, we can project the image. Click my little PowerPoint clicker.
Let me get a rough scaling.
Bonus points if something goes wrong with the projection, you accidentally put like a giant nude selfie up instead.
I don't think Lucius would have those, to be quite honest.
It wouldn't be a nude of him.
It could be a nude selfie of Constantine.
I mean, I wouldn't be embarrassed. Could it be a nude selfie of me and his sister?
Oh shit, am I supposed to be doing this?
Oh, it's just if you want to tell that bit. Up to you.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, what is this like a handheld projector thing?
It's probably more like a sort of small kit, like tripod-mounted thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever it is, Lisa will step forward onto the grass and set it up, turn it on.
Hope as if we want
See if he can ask for the lights to be dimmed, just for dramatic effect. So
way outside.
No, we're inside a space station, aren't we?
Correct. You're inside a dome on an asteroid. It's been greened up. It's a rather luxurious site to prevent such as this.
So, Lucius would turn it on. He would call for the lights to be dimmed, and then explain that this would be a 1 to 11 scale representation of what we found. And he wouldn't explain what it is, he would just let the picture do the talking.
Indeed. And as soon as the Reaver Titan is projected, there will be very many oohs and ahs. And after like a very palpable silence, you see Whimsy get somewhat angry. There's definitely sort of look of anger sort of sweep across his face, and then says, "Young Theodore, I don't wish to sort of belittle this in any shape, form, or fashion, but what authentication do you have for this? Obviously, this is a magnificent achievement, but to overlook the stipulation that this thing should be brought to this patch of grass, I feel we will need some overwhelming evidence to clarify this. You understand?
But of course, I mean, notwithstanding the fact that my Engiseer was allowed to keep the Engiseer's omniscient axe, I believe we brought along a contingent of the Order Titanicus to verify my claims.
The Magos will step forward. My lords, on behalf of the Order Titanicus, I will confirm and authenticate this claim. Lord Constantine has been hailed and lauded in our halls and in mechanical song for the many weeks since we learned of his discovery, and will be recorded in Mechanic's record for our own. I hope this is approval enough. And I think we're not to test. Yes, that will do fine. Thank you, Magos.
Can I roll for a subtle wink at Whimsy?
Sure.
What am I rolling?
I don't really know. What do you think?
Charm.
Yeah, fuck it, go for it.
Plus 30?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
You spent the last 3 weeks of transit just bathing in Old Spice.
He is exceptionally annoyed now.
There's a wind blows from somewhere and it ruffles my hair.
and as soon as he reaches Whimsy, he just says, "Loser."
Power.
Oh dear. Yeah.
It's
Hello?
Yeah. So yeah, Whimsy is sort of looking somewhat, I think, distraught at this point, and is not taking his loss very well.
I congratulate him on his Xenos toy collection.
So he's got the same thing going as you. So
Huzzah!
oh dear.
Oh no.
He draws his power sword and fires it up.
Declare he's not worth your time and have Mouse just squash him.
I was considering this.
I mean, Mouse probably does. I don't actually have the stats for it, but he probably does have his new shiny Power Maul thing.
You click that on.
Is the scale correct, Phil?
The skill is, I believe, correct. Yes, the skill is correct.
Okay.
So he fires at the power sword and says, it's along the lines of, Theodore Constantine, you're dog and a cheat. You circumvented the rules of this challenge, and you've corrupted my sister with
My dick?
with your foul presence and warp corruption. I will stand it no longer.
fine. I want to try out this new power blade, so quick draw both of mine.
You can dual wield? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can dual wield.
Oh shit, what a...
Fair enough, roll for initiative.
Cha-ching! And take a guarded stance. Guarded stance. Guarded attack. No.
Does he have the same like sort of entourage as we do, or is it only the?
No, he's only good the Dark Eldar with him.
Has the Dark Eldar done anything?
It's armed.
Yes, but it doesn't fit. No, but
It hasn't done anything yet. It's fidgeting a little bit. I think it's went from being in a relaxed stance to a not so relaxed stance. That's the way of putting it.
Good. No. Okay.
Mouse and Spider Psycho are gonna just fidget their way to stand next to it. Meanwhile...
I'm trying to find a thing. That's fine. Okay, so what's the plan? Are you gonna let this duel play out, or are you gonna intervene? Theodore gets first move.
Let it play out for now. I would.
He drew first.
Yeah.
Lucius will edge around towards the side slightly.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I might just move to there.
That's okay. Yes, the way it'll work it is, like I'll do like around with these guys, and then you can sort of do actions which would be, in line with a turn of your own. How about that?
Yeah. I just want to keep an eye on the Eldar.
Okay. So Theodore, are you going to do anything, or are you gonna let him? You're making him make the first move, aren't you?
Yeah, can I do anything like, I don't know, take a guarded stance? I can't
Yes.
kind of.
Yeah, it's called defensive stance. So
Correct.
you basically hold your position, but the opponent suffers -20 to weapon skill, and you gain an additional reaction. So you could dodge twice, for example.
Wonderful.
So he's gonna move in. So, try and attack you.
Can I parry?
It's a missed
It's a critical
attack.
fail.
Do you
Duh.
really need to just parry
Oh, wait,
back
yeah.
into your own
Sorry,
shoulder?
I'm gonna re-roll that.
Oh.
Big boy character. He's gonna have some. I'm giving him a couple of hit points to play with, so I can avoid shit like that happening. Because if that's just stupid, like that sometimes I gotta force it a little bit.
You have not attained the rank of Master yet. Take a seat.
That is a hit. You may
Cool.
parry if you wish.
Yep, I will parry with my new power blade.
It's just a roll weapon skill instead of dodge, basically.
Plus 10 because of the blade.
Right. Nice.
Nice.
So there's the whoosh, and somehow a stream of plasma holds up a physical power blade. Physical power sword, I should say. And your go, Theodore.
Cool. Sorry, just arranging notes. Guarded attack is full action, so can I? So I wouldn't be able to attack with both swords. It would just be the one.
Right. That's a minus 10. So it's a flat roll, the bonus that you normally get from using that weapon.
Yeah, so I would, guarded attack. I'm not trying to hurt the fellow. I'm just trying to embarrass him.
Fair enough.
Ooh. I'm gonna re-roll that.
0.1.
Yeah, I'm gonna re-roll that. Yes.
Fair enough.
I just want
he's
to
gonna try and
embarrass
parry
him
that.
by...
That's parry. Whimsic's going to use a swift attack.
Oh no, they always hit.
That is not a pass.
Rip.
Here you go.
Yeah, another. In fact, I'm just going to attack with both. So, yeah, just flat with the power sword and plus 10 with the power blade.
Hang on.
How's that work?
What dueling stuff do you have?
Rules. So I've got ambidextrous and
Do you have dual attack though?
two weapon wielder, melee, ambidextrous.
I was gonna say it's roll hit twice at a minus 10 then, right?
Doesn't the ambidextrous take the minus 10?
It's
Oh, it does drop to 10, to minus 10.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Cool. So is that flat with the power blade then?
Yeah, flat with power blade and minus 10 with your power sword. Yeah.
Oh, come on. I'm going to re-roll the power blade.
Okay.
Oh god.
Fair enough. Owen's going to try swift attack again. God damn it.
Another!
Go again.
Two fools widely flailing at each other.
Basically, yeah.
Literally.
It's not quite out of your hands.
Oh god. What is going on?
Ref, another swift attack. That is most definitely a pass. You're going to be taking damage twice.
Okay, parry then. Plus 10. Yes. Yes?
Yep.
Reroll.
Ref, well, you're only dodging one of those. So it's multi-hit rules. So every degree of success, you dodge one. So dodge the first. Ignore the thing. I'm just borrowing your power sword for the damage. 13 damage with 5 pen.
Ugh. 7 plus 4. Is that 2 damage?
No, you've 4 toughness and it ignores 5 of your armor, so 13 minus 6, you're taking 7 damage.
Ah, ouch.
7 damage to body.
Ouchie.
Here you go.
do. Oh, come on. Good lord. I'm gonna die.
Another shift stack.
Burn a fate point and kill him.
Holy shit!
He's going to kill himself.
Critical failure! I don't think he needs to burn a fate point. That dude just fucking Prince Arthur'd his own sword.
You know what? I did give him fate points for stuff like this, but it'll be nice. No. Do you want to be nice? Do I want to be nice? Do I want to be nice, people?
Roll a dice.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll a dice.
That's fair.
Not being nice.
To be honest, it's going quite badly for both.
So I'm gonna re-roll that. Re-roll the attack roll. Oh, that's definitely a hit.
Oh, come on!
That literally went from one extreme to the other.
What are the odds?
Wow.
Right, Harry then. Fine.
Phil, does this broadside look powered on at all?
No, it looks pleasantly inactive.
I'm having a stupid idea. It might be a really stupid idea.
Please have stupid ideas, because I'm down to 5.
It basically involves Mouse trying to push the XV88 over accidentally to create a distraction.
Well, we can make distractions after this parry is rolled.
Okay.
Right. Reroll again. I don't want to die.
How many fate points do you have?
A lot.
5. Oh my fucking god!
Ripping pepperonis?
Probably.
Oh my god, no!
Did.
Okay, again, 5 pen. So we're essentially taking 6 damage off each of those.
He's dead.
-7.
Cool, let's see where the second hit. So that was 1-0, that's 10. Oh wow, that's to the head. So what's critical 7 rending? Is it energy or rending for power blades? Oh, it's energy for power swords. So what's -7 to the head?
You're getting a new haircut.
Yep.
And I think it's time Mouse decides to do the mountain and the viper.
Oh, it took me a while to get that reference.
Oh dear.
71, 60, 94, 70, 51.
Okay.
God.
So, in a gruesome display, the flesh is cut from the target's head, exposing charred bone and muscle underneath. The target is blinded permanently and takes 1d10 levels of fatigue. Roll me d10, please. 10 level fatigue, so Theodore is out cold. Also roll 1d10. This is the target's new fellowship. Unless their fellowship was already 10 or less. In which case nobody really notices the difference.
What?
Oh dear.
What? That's character ruined.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah.
So,
How
Wow.
much would Mouse be aware of? How much of a faux pas would it be for Mouse to intervene at this point?
it still would be. The only way out of this is straight up burning a fate point. I will let you burn a fate point to successfully parry the attack and forgo any of the particularly fatal points. I will still consider you unconscious, and there will be a nasty scar. But so basically, I will forgo the fellowship part of that.
I mean, the character
If
is
you-
dead if I have a fellowship of 1, he is literally useless.
So yes,
So-
I will let you forgo
Yes.
the fellowship bit for a fate point. Permanently.
Done. I've still got 4. It's fine.
Okay. The rest of you, Whimsit steps over Constantine with the massive slash that has just missed his eyes. Where would you like this permanent scar to be across his face?
Across his face.
Oh yeah.
Are we
Not the
going
head,
for
the
proper
face.
like?
Well, I mean, I was thinking of getting eye implants anyway, so
Tyrion's injury was
Nah.
I was going to say,
Gotta make
like,
it
He
no,
had
no,
no
in the
names.
books.
No, I was
In
going
the
to say I'm
books.
happy. I'm happy enough to avoid the the blinding and fellowship because the implication is that because there's been like a massive gouge straight across your eyes. That's why your fellowship's like 1. So it's going to be a very noticeable scar somewhere on its face,
As
like like pretty much one side to the other. But it's not. I will leave you with your eyes and the fellowship for the fate point. That seems like a fair compromise.
who
okay.
here has played The Witcher 3?
Yeah.
That one Witcher that you don't see very often, who's all fucking mutilated and shit, basically.
Wasn't there a sorceress that has like a thing across her eyes because she replaced them with gems or some daft thing?
There is. Ah, that's
yeah,
the
so
one.
like a nice heroic like down the forehead, but like just misses the eye of the cheek.
Oh, okay, fine, but it's like, yeah, pretty much like hairline to bottom of the chin levels.
There you
Of,
go.
yeah, basically that, but it's like a single
Single one, yeah.
Yeah.
Because,
of
it
of,
was
of,
a sword.
Oh, that
and-
guy.
of a fairly similar width to that, I would say, but as like a single large thing. Yes. So Wims is standing over Constantine with the sword pointed at him.
At this point, Lucius would intervene.
What kind of
Um,
intervention?
Well, he is the chirurgeon on Constantine's
Yes.
cohort, and I guess surgical kit in hand. What's this guy's name? Whimsit?
Yep.
I guess we'll say to Whimsit, congratulations, you've lost. Before he goes to administer.
Mouse is going to step forward as well just to make sure there's no funny business.
I'd like to look around and see what the Inquisitor is doing.
The Inquisitor has his hand in a storm bolter and is ready to sort of make a move. But it's as far as any of them are concerned, it was a recognized duel between men of status, of equal status, that sort of thing.
I mean, the terms of the agreement said that if anything causes harm, they're disqualified.
The objects you brought back, not the.
Not what my notes say.
He lost either way. I just
Alright.
want Mouse
I didn't
to
lose
fucking
any
whack his
eyes.
head.
Oh yeah, I mean, Winsett still lost the bet. You did, however, get somewhat embarrassed in a duel. But,
Yeah, that's dice.
Yeah, but for later, because you're very unconscious. Like, 10 levels of fatigue is a lot. Oh, I don't think you're all free to die? I don't think so. Well, you burned a fate point. That's fine. You're alive.
Not gonna lie, I wanted Mouse to just do this.
Am I making a Medicaid check to make sure he doesn't bleed out or whatever?
Yes.
I have something to do with bleeding, actually.
Die Hard?
Yes.
What am I rolling?
So Medicaid, and then you've got your. But the kit gives you bonuses to that as well, doesn't it? It's like, I don't know, like
Yeah.
Medicaid at plus 20 or 30? Plus 20? Plus 20.
If that's the case, it's an autopass because I get plus 30 from my kit and the mechadendrite.
Oh, sorry, I meant like I thought that's what. And
Oh.
so yeah, flat Medicaid, and then whatever bonuses you have for it.
Oh, you're kidding me. Reroll. This is my free reroll because I have Kyrogen's tools.
Yes.
There we go.
Fantastic.
Ooh.
You stabilize him and get like a massive bandage over his face and whatnot. The thing is just missed his eyes, and the wound appears like half cauterized already because of the power blade. There is bits of skull and a little bit of cheekbone showing. And,
Did his eyes get chopped off?
No.
Oh.
It's well, we're working with the one of the Witcher dude there.
This is halfway between that witch dude and the fucking bad guy out of Spectre.
Basically.
No, Skyfall. No, Spectre.
No,
Yeah, Spectre.
Casino Royale.
Spectre, yeah.
I mean, whatever. Anyway. Yeah, Whimsy sort of. There isn't a lot of cheering for him at the minute. I think might be the way of putting it. There's a. He's definitely came across as a very sore loser at this point. Callus came up and she's sort of checking Constantine and whatnot. Rather concerned about him. Appears to be crying and all that sort of stuff. The Inquisitor comes up and it's a very firm hand on Wim's shoulder and says, "I think you should leave." And Wim's sort of looking sort of very chuffed with himself, powers off the power sword, massive, flourish, puts it back in his sheath, sort of makes some gestures to the crowd of the, few supporters he has, very, few distinct supporters that he has. So you get sort of a few claps, and you hear, "Oh yes, yes, well fought, sir, well fought, yes, 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 yes," and so he moves off and he gestures around some servitors and whatnot, pick up the battle suit.
Before that happens, can Mouse kind of wander over to it like he's going to look and accidentally trip and fall into it and try and push it over?
Sure. Give me a flat strength.
Okay. I mean, if it lands on him, that's even better, but, I don't think you're going to be that nice.
You can have that fall whatever way you want it.
Okay, I'm going to have it so it lands close enough to him that Whimsit hopefully has a brown trousers, like literal brown trousers moment.
He does not.
Okay, damn.
Is he going to
Mouse
get
picks
angry again
himself
and
up
try
and
and
goes,
duel
I'm
Mouse?
very sorry, I'm so clumsy. You know
Hey,
how it is, us Ogrins.
He points over to Garviel as the clear, officer of the Constantine cohort and says, "Remove the oath from my property."
Garviel would reply, "I think it would be more entertaining if you tried to do that yourself."
Do you recognize my authority?
I recognise my rogue trader's authority, not yours.
Hmm.
Mouse goes to try and lever the thing up and then goes, "Whoops-a-daisy, dropped it again." Or maybe it has a few new, a couple of extra little dents that it didn't have before.
That's suited much worse things than you, oath. And gestures to the servitors and they pick it up and start sort of shuffling it away. And it sort of walks on past. The Eldar walks past all of you. It gives you all a fairly polite gesture, actually, sort of little fairly polite nod and a little smile, as if this is all some lovely, like just an evening's entertainment for him, that sort of thing. I would say they'll bugger off. Okay. Back to the ship.
Let me out!
So, in the meantime, what has been so now that sort of that's over, Constantine, you wake up in the infirmary 3 days later with a massive bandage over your face. You can see the light coming through the bandage, so you know you're not blinded, but you've got a massive bandage over your face.
Did I get him?
Who wishes to be there? Oh, I don't know. Well, does anybody wish to be at his bedside at all hours, or anything of the sort?
I mean, Lucius has a ship to run, but if there's word coming that he's alive, I guess it'll come over. Excuse me.
Can I whisper just incoherent drivel into his ear while he's awake now?
You know what? Actually, while he was unconscious, you were able to reach and sort of mentally reach out a lot easier because there wasn't that like conscious resistance. So congrats, Theodore.
I've been giving him.
You've had Hendrickson like give you sort of some small company in your unconscious state.
Oh,
I still think you're a dick.
In the sort of way, like imagine you were both sitting at opposite ends of, I don't know, like the school
Have you got-
gym, and we're sort of
have you
shouting
got
at
that?
each other.
have you got that whispered loser sound effect?
Loser. Loser.
Yeah, that
For 3 days straight.
one. Basically, yeah. So yeah, I was gonna say the only physical person you find there, when you wake up is Callie, who apparently has been sort of there until she falls asleep and blah 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 blah. But yes, she's still there, so that's something, I guess.
I mean, do you want Lucius there?
I mean, I want crowds of weeping men and women around my
With
bedside.
Clothes and yeah.
Garviel will go and tip Magic Hands Mary to collect a group of women from around the underdecks to kneel at his bed weeping.
Don't know if you'd want to do that with Callie there.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I was going to say for the interim period, Cynthia's actually come back on board.
Sorry.
Oh dear. Can we not? So, but yeah, those interim 3 days, Cynthia's been taking up the interim role of rogue trader in Theodore's stead, because nobody knows if he was going to recover or not, and obviously since she's best placed in the family to run the ship, as far as the rogue trader end is concerned. I was going to say Garviel, unfortunately, I don't know if unfortunately is the right word or not. Unfortunately, you found her a particularly competent commander of the ship, and has left you alone to do all the right things, and instructed how she likes particular things done that you would have had to ask Constantine how he likes them done anyway. So it's been a very, very efficient communication in the last few days. I dare say it's been pleasant.
He would enjoy the change of somebody who knows what they're doing in charge.
Next time Mouse comes with colouring books, can I ask him to just slap one on Theodore's chest? He needs something to do in his recovery time.
Hendrickson, you in the meantime, you've had a couple of visits from Cynthia, and she's informed you of your travel plans for the coming year and a bit.
I'm going on a trip to Switzerland.
Yeah, you're getting shipped back off to Holy Terra, where you're going to be indoctrinated into the Order Telepathica, technically, and at which point the Inquisition will be acquiring you, and then you'll be placed on this ship out of courtesy. Because basically, there's one of three ways psychers can exist. They can exist as batteries for the Golden Throne, lol.
Got to give mana.
Yeah, basically. Or the Astra Telepathica, in which case you have the fucking space telephone, also lol, and you have a lifespan of like not very long if you actually get used. Or you end up as a sanctioned Imperial Psyker. You 9 times out of 10 for the Inquisition. So that's your future. Suck it. Oh, and it's not going to be pleasant, by the way. We'll be rolling the sanctioning effects and whatnot during the break. Anyways, you'll be getting picked up in the coming days.
Oh, I see.
Just for the sake of it, we're going to say you disappear. No, actually, no. I was going to say on your way out, you're able to go visit Constantine and say goodbye for the foreseeable future.
Fuck that.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough then.
I'm gonna say goodbye to Mouse and Garviel.
Fair enough. Okay.
Mouse gives
I'll
him
hand my colouring books off to Theodore as a farewell gift.
Mouse will give him a kind of not a 10 out of 10 salute, but at least a 7 out of 10.
Ah,
Garviel will assure him that he'll keep an especially good eye on the Thunderhawk and make sure it's in one piece for his return.
It's worth mentioning. One of the threatening gestures Scythia made to you, in regards to you trying any funny business under her watch, was her simply like poking you in the chest, like finger on the chest, poking you, and as a psyker, it would have felt like it, like literally like death rolling over you. That all psychicness that you've been like seeping in for the last 3 weeks in this fucking airlock, like basically would have disappeared, and not in a good way. Like, they should effectively make you shit yourself. But yes.
Roll for it.
You know what? Let's roll for it. Can I take a willpower check? Willpower check and a -20.
willpower -20.
You just about suck it up. And don't
Rattle
flinch
me
too
bones.
much. But yeah. Okay, congrats. Hendrickson is fucked off on a black ship to go get sanctioned. After whatever weeks in an airlock, that's definitely not going to affect his opinion of y'all negatively when he gets back.
I was just following orders.
Because it was positive in the first place. Being I was paranoid and jaded as fuck.
But yes. Theodore, what's the plans when you wake up?
I mean, I need to get better with these swords. Or guns.
Okay. And are there any favors you can think of that you would like to ask of the Mechanicus?
I don't know, other than, you know, making a certain ship explode. Like, do we have a time limit on these, on the favor?
No, the favor can be used whenever. I would point out that I was going to be having a year gap over the break.
Ooh.
So if there's any big development, so like for example, I'm going to, in theory, have the shipyard finished by the time we're back in January, and or at least close enough finished. And if there's anything else that, like, say, built or completed within a year. That would also be
Like a new ship, perhaps?
could be an option.
What do you think?
Don't worry. I mean, I'm happy enough to leave that for the group chat, and as long as you just have an answer for me for the break's over, that's totally okay. But yes,
Certainly.
like a big favor that the mechanics would be able to help with, and like handle for the most part is completely fair.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'll leave that bit. So, essentially, the plan is as follows for the next in-game sort of year. So the Constantine is going to be reorganizing and dealing with threats. There will be no more big character deaths. Scythia will be back on your ship for the time being, and will be not serving as Seneschal as such, but kind of more like a second rogue trader, to be honest. Like, so essentially, whenever Theodore can't be asked, as the heir apparent, as it were, if he really can't be asked, Scythia is going to be doing all the important stuff, and we'll probably end up doing most of it anyway. For the sake of story continuity, I'm going to say that some warp fuckery happens along the way, and Callie ends up being 20-something again, because I can't be fucked dealing with that anymore.
Everyone, roll. You need to age.
And you know what? For the sake of it, I'll make you guys roll for 3 encounters, which will happen vaguely throughout the year.
Except me, because I'm not there. Haha, fuck you all.
So, can I have 3 D100s from people who are feeling lucky?
I'm not rolling.
I'm busy turning into an Energizer bunny.
Oof.
Oof.
They'd be two of the same, would they not?
Anybody else? Or?
So the Groks are back. With a crash, your ship is beset by a vast horde of Groks that run rampant throughout your ship. Roll Wrangling to deal with the situation.
God,
Wrangling.
Wranglers.
Has anybody got wrangling yet?
No. What is wrangling?
Again.
What base skill does wrangling use for?
Agility, I think.
Agility. So if we don't have it, it's half, correct?
Correct. To be honest, the like a large amount of the long-term like damages and whatnot aren't entirely relevant. But roll it anyway.
A mouse, not just like.
No, it fails.
Slap.
Just.
Okay. Pretty too much better then. Yeah, fairly relevant. And it. Oh dear, it's that one again. You know what? Because I refuse to have that one again. Fuck no. Murderous machines. The machine spirit of the ship goes insane and begin murdering the crew. Bulkheads crush people, furnaces set everything on fire, electrical wiring begins arc lightning everywhere, and the artificial gravity switches on and off suddenly, bludgeoning dozens to death. A -20 tech use check will calm the spirit somewhat, lessening the carnage and crew loss to a mere D5 plus 1. A failure will instead be a D10 plus 3. Well, we know who's going to be rolling a -20 tech use check. There we go. All is fine. Was that 26 also one of them, Killslim?
Yep.
Okay,
Because no one did it, so I just did it. Fuck it.
fair enough. Eh.
Would Mouse have been able to help with his, firefighting hat on?
Yeah, totally. Well, that's interesting. Purple lightning cascades all over the ship, striking several people at random. At first they seem unharmed, but soon they begin manifesting strange psychic powers. They don't seem particularly powerful, but an unsanctioned psyker is still an unsanctioned psyker. How will you deal with them? Letting them run free in the ship harms morale by 1, but allows you to leverage a host of low-level psykers. Culling psykers instead reduces the crew population by 1, and each player should roll under their corruption points to see if they're affected.
Kill them all.
So basically, if everybody rolls a D100, and if the D100 happens to be below your corruption points, you are.
Oh, I
affected.
see. Right.
Oh, okay.
In which case, it's impossible for me, but I'll roll anyway.
It's also impossible for me.
No corruption points, really?
I have
I've
one
got
corruption
one.
point. You cannot roll under a 1 on a D100.
It's true.
I have 11.
Well, get a roll going.
I have 9, so...
I don't have any either.
Fair enough. I'll take a D100 from the rogue trader.
Ooh.
Aw.
I've been rolling high all day.
Yeah. That's fine.
Apart from my 11 is a success on a wink. For fuck's sake.
Okay, fair enough then. So yeah. So general bits and pieces are going to be happening during the year. Feel free to get back to me if you want any particular character development over the year. So we can use that for like particular bonuses or building in like a bit of character backstory and whatnot. Obviously this will be the first year of Mouse's Mouseketeers. So you know, I'm sure we can get a little command bonus in there. So I mean, realistically, I'm happy enough to give everybody like a bonus skill or a bonus talent or something that they would reasonably acquire within making some sort of concerted effort. So yes. Unless anybody does anything, yeah, that is us for the Christmas break.
Time for delicious fucking rolls. I want to see if I am an AA battery.
Yeah, we'll do all that
Maybe.
later.
Yeah, later.
I was planning
Keep
on
it a
doing some
surprise.
shopping, Phil, because I do have some requests from the crew.
Okay.
Do I need to roll for them as being would it be to find them or to just the amount of time it takes or something? Because I know you roll for the amount of time. Do you roll for the if you find them or not?
Yes, you need to roll inquiry or commerce,
Commerce, okay.
and then it's modified by the rarity of it.
Okay. I believe there is 2 very rare things is the 2 highest ones.
2 seconds. Get my cheat sheet out. This is, of course, also a good chance for everybody to get their sort of requests in the table. Although I feel
Yes,
like everybody's
if
got
anyone-
a fair bit of kit already, but sure.
Well, it's some implants and Kilsim's MIU, an Inferno pistol for dodge.
Fair enough.
Someone else wanted Intercratics implants, which dark sight and immunity to photon grenades.
I'm going to say, for every 2 things, I'm going to increase it by plus 10, like difficulty-wise.
Okay, right, so I want subskin armor, which is very rare. Is it you, Dodge, that wanted Intercratic implants? The eye implants?
Yes.
What are they?
They're scarce.
Okay, that's not too bad then.
I was wondering if I could get 2 for one for myself as well.
Okay, that's fine.
You also wanted an Inferno pistol, did you not, Dodge?
Yep.
That's very rare.
Right.
Kilsim wants the MIU weapon interface.
Which is
Rare.
really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Suck it.
And and I was also wondering if I could get augmented senses for hearing, which is rare, but that depends on the build quality. I was thinking just common quality, possibly.
I mean, good quality is what's going to get you the actual bonuses on it.
Good quality then.
Yeah. Okay, I'll call it a -20 overall for all that shit. So -20 commerce roll.
Oh fuck! I'm gonna reroll that.
Do it well.
Sounds like a -10 apparently.
Is that a -10?
Yeah, apparently you have to do it well. According to your rogue trader, so.
Okay. There we go.
Nice. Okay, and now. See, we've profit factor of 2. So, roll me a D100. If it's below 42, you find the shit.
Can I reroll that too?
Yeah.
I can't actually burn a.
I probably should do these all individually, but
Oh yeah, I could do.
oh,
I'm gonna
no,
reroll that one
There's
anyway.
multiple acquisition test modifiers, so yeah, technically speaking, this should be getting more difficult. It all goes off the rarest thing, and then it's more difficult for each item. But tell you what, give me. I'll give you the. I'll not impose the penalty in the things that are less than. What was it? 2 very rare things, yeah.
Yeah, 2 very rare.
Cool. Both of those are going to be at a -10, and then the other things are going to be at a +10.
What's that? What is that commerce?
Yeah.
So 2 -10s and 1 +10. 2, and then the rest are +10. Yeah. So
Yes.
5. 3.
Going with the modifiers we have on the go, yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to go from the top to the bottom of my list. So that's the subskin. The augmented senses, which are just rare, so I'll do a +10. The intercratic implants. There's 2 of these. Did you want me to roll twice for either one, or just once?
I'll say if you've got a guy that has like 1 set, then he's probably got a second set. Let's face it. So just roll the ones for both of them.
Okay. The Inferno pistol, which is very rare. Fair enough. And the MIU. There we go.
Yeah. Cool. And now we're doing the acquisition rolls for all of those. And we'll do the acquisition rolls in order. This is straight up against the profit factor.
Okay. So commerce or D100?
D100. They're in order. You can of course reroll, but I think you're out of fate points.
No, I've spent 2 this session.
And you've got one left? 2 left?
No, I've got 4 total. 2 left.
We just rerolled 2 things. Oh, no,
Yeah.
only rerolled the one
4
thing.
-2 is 2, Phil.
Whatever. Oh,
Okay.
sorry, I thought you meant during set. Never mind. Ignore me. Go ahead.
Okay, so this is just to find it, yeah?
No, you've already found it with the commerce
Right.
roll. So this is the buying it.
Oh god.
So that's subskin.
Right.
Can I spend 1 to reroll that?
Okay.
For fuck. Okay, augmented senses. Of course not. Okay. The intercratic. Of course not. The Inferno pistol. Of course not. And the MIU. Of course.
Yeah. Okay, so after all that, You're only able to actually acquire the MRU. God damn. Did I throw
Good
you
lord.
any of those?
Yeah, can I reroll for the intercratic?
Yep.
Of course.
Today is a day of bad rolls.
What did I have to get under?
42.
So close with the subskin.
Yep.
Fuck's sake.
But oh dear. So yes. Well, so what day we're going to be back on then? I'm happy to say provisionally the 6th. But I'll see how things are. If not, absolutely definitely back on the 13th. Sound good?
Cool.
That should be okay.
Cool. Like I say, it's like I'm not too worried if we don't get it's purely if everybody is free on the 9th, we'll get stuck back in. Then if any problems about it, because obviously for a session back we would of course rather like everybody there. So yes. Okay. And stream over.